We've sold lots and lots of live streams, and now we are live in your living rooms for a Grasstrack meeting. At last, we've waited so long. In association, of course, with Jerry and Andy, Jerry from the Speedway Chat Show and BluMonkey Media, we've got this production today of the Grasstrack. Now, we've just finished a minute silence. We've just had a minute silence for, of course, the Duke of Edinburgh, but also we've lost several friends to Grasstrack over the last couple of years. It seems like a long time since we've been racing, and we're finally here. Obviously, there's been lots of restrictions in place that we've had to deal with. We've had to deal with lots of things to do with COVID, making sure that everybody is as safe as possible here at the Grasstrack. Everybody has played their part, every single rider, every single person that stayed last night has played their part, and it's been a fantastic event up to now. Really great. We've just finished practice. The track looks superb. There were a lot of worries in the week about dust. We were really concerned about the dust because we had Alfie Botel, who of course rides for the Plymouth Gladiators. He did a few training laps last week down here, and it was incredibly dusty, very, very dry. So a lot of the thoughts went into how we were going to make it not dusty, basically, and throw a lot of water on it without making it impossible to ride. And I think we've just about got it right. It was incredibly wet to start with in practice, really, really slidey. The 500 solos and the 1,000 sidecars went out first for practice, and it was very, very slidey. Towards the end, though, the track started to come to the riders, and they were really reaching some tremendous speeds around this circuit here at Wadham Farm. Talking of Wadham Farm, it's probably now I want to just thank Mr. Brian Lush for his use of the land today. He's been absolutely brilliant to us here at Grasstrack Banter Promotions, Brian. He did all of the track work for us. He's been absolutely fantastic the whole time. And we couldn't do it without you, Brian. So thank you very much for all your help with getting on Bantasia 1. Now, in a moment, the riders for race number 1 will appear, and we will have a look at who's running in race number 1 in a moment. And it's the 500cc solos up first. So we've got some big riders to start with. I know Edward Kennett's in this first one, and he looked very quick in practice. So we'll have to wait and see what race number 1 has in store for us in about 2 or 3 minutes' time. So we have got race number 1 coming up, and they're just coming onto the circuit now. So we will see Edward Kennett in race number 1, coming out of gate 1. James Laker, number 17, is in this one. He's done a bit of speedway in his time, James. I'm interested to see how James Laker goes today. Aaron Butcher, number 20, riding for Leicester, I believe, at the moment on the speedway. He's done lots of laps over the winter. We've got Dave Hollingsby, number 5. Harry Gent, number 27. 41 is Stuart Mears. Number 42, Simon Field. Number 45, James Peters. Number 47, Will Thirlby. And number 57, Dean Cutler. You can see that they're just putting some grooves into the start at the moment. Obviously very slippery over there. They did water the circuit, water the start lines as well. They watered everywhere really, but they watered the start lines too, so it is very slippy over there, although you wouldn't know it. It's a lot of dust. Kennett off the inside. So the tape's up on race number 1, and it is indeed number 6, Edward Kennett, that streaks into the lead as they get into that first turn. He's got the corner all to himself as he gets there. Very slippery going in. You can see that they're all sideways going in. But it is Edward Kennett, number 6, who leads, going back up the turn. Harry Gent's got into that second place, but he's quickly rounded by Aaron Butcher for that second. As I say that, Butcher just runs out of space, and he ends up back in third. But at the front, Edward Kennett, number 6, absolutely flying. He did ride in the British Masters in 2019, and he made the top 8. He's a very, very good rider. We know how good a rider he is. Aaron Butcher, number 20, is still trying to get his way round Harry Gent for that second place, but Gent is making him work hard in that second place. I think Butcher's now got past him for that second, but will he drift wide? Because Harry Gent on the inside is looking very fast, and Will Thirlby's now come up to join him. So a real battle for that second, third and fourth at the moment, and it's still going on because Thirlby's now gone up the inside of Harry Gent going to that turn. While all that's going on though, it looks like Edward Kennett is eased right off for the finish. He's got a huge lead over the others. He takes the checker flag. Edward Kennett wins race number 1. Aaron Butcher comes home in second. Will Thirlby, number 47, third. Harry Gent, 4th. It's close on the line for 5th. It's James Peters for 5th. Simon Field, 6th. Stuart Mears, 7th. James Laker, 8th. And David Hollingsby will be our 9th finisher. David is in your programmes at home. It's not Martin Hollingsby, number 25. It's David Hollingsby, number 5. So he picks up 9th place. So a fairly easy victory for Edward Kennett there. 11 points go straight to Cadet, number 6. So we've got some big boys in this one. So like I was saying, Stephen Green, European finalist last year, he comes off 1. Chad Worksfield and Jake Mulford. Charlie Powell, he's been a European finalist in the past. James Shanes, number 93, European champion twice. Aaron Schubert, Thomas Rowlett, James Wright, number 169, also coming to the line in this one. Former Premier League Riders champion, of course. Alfie Botel, number 202. It'll be fascinating to see how the Plymouth Gladiator gets on here. And we've got number 461, we've got Ryan Ashcroft too. So, a very healthy looking lineup for race number 2 as they settle down for the start. So the tapes go up and we've got a much more even start. It looks like James Wright's just edged it going into that turn, followed by Stephen Green in second, with James Shanes in third, who tucks up the inside of him. But it's James Wright who leads out the turn. Stephen Green is there in second and James Shanes is in third. We've got Charlie Powell in fourth, but the race is on for that second place because James Wright has stolen a march and he's gone. James Wright leads the pack. Stephen Green in that second. James Shanes, no answer to Stephen Green at the moment. Charlie Powell's currently in that third place with Jake Mulford fourth. But Stephen Green at the front. Stephen Green in second, James Wright is at the front, of course. And he's about to take the last lap flag. He's having it all his own way here at the moment, James Wright. It's getting close for this second place. I think that's where the change might happen because we've got Stephen Green and James Shanes very close together in that turn. Shanes, he's gone up the inside of Stephen Green. He now gets himself into second as James Wright comes round to complete 4 laps. James Wright takes the win. James Shanes second, Stephen Green in third. It'll be Charlie Powell, number 92, fourth. 5th place to Alfie Botel. 6th place, Jake Mulford. And 7th place, Ryan Ashcroft. It looks like it's going to be a chase for 8th place. It's just about Chad Worksfield with Thomas Rowlett 9th and Aaron Schubert 10th. So a fascinating race, number 2. But James Wright looked in sensational form. Very, very experienced passenger, so he knows what he's doing on the back of Mark, and he's been on the back of Mark before, but very colourful this year, Mark. He's got a really bright seat on there. You'll see it in a moment. We've got no outfit in gate 3. We do have Trevor Heath and Sam Heath coming out of 4. It's another crew that's returning to the sport. Andrew and Michelle Minard in 5, and Chris Walker and Sam Fumola in 6, and off they go. And Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams already hit the front as they go into that first turn. They throw it into their turn. Trevor Heath's made a very good start in that second place, but he's been quickly swallowed up by Matt Fumola and Andy Wilson, and they settle down going down the back straight. So Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams come into this pit turn. It's been a tricky corner, this one, for the outfits. You can see they get thrown wide as they come out of it, and they're desperately trying to keep the machine in. Trevor Heath seems to have problems in that third place. He stopped and put his hands in the air. So problems for Trevor Heath while holding third. That's a real shame for them. All the way down from the northeast of the country. So Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams on the Suzuki lead Matt Fumola and Andy Wilson also on a Suzuki. And they look very, very comfortable. There's a bit of a battle going on for this third place at the moment between Andrew and Michelle Minard and Chris Walker and Sam Fumola. The last lap flag is made ready then. Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams looking in sensational form. Exactly what we'd expect from the multi-British Masters champion. I am keeping an eye on Mark Cosser, but I'm also keeping half an eye on this battle at the back because it's getting very close between Andrew and Michelle Minard and Chris Walker and Sam Fumola for that third place. Big points available, of course. But it's a win for Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams. Matt Fumola and Andy Wilson come home with a lovely second place. And third and fourth are still dicing at the back. We've got the husband and wife team of Andrew and Michelle Minard. They're going to finish third with Chris Walker and Sam Fumola in fourth. So, a very good win for Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams there. 7 points to them. If you find on your programme, if you're doing your programme at home, find the 1000cc sidecars, right-hand sidecars. Number 14 is Rob Heath and Jay Sullivan. They are the reigning British left-hand sidecar champions. Turned back to right-handed. Rob used to ride a right-hander many years ago. He's turned back to the right-hand sidecars now. And we've got Dave Buckley as well with Paul Jasper in gate 5. We've got nobody in gate 6. So Jordan Williams and Kyler Bluxton not coming to the line for gate 6. In fact, Caleb stood right next to me, so I can see he's not coming to the line. So tapes go up, and away we go with race number 4, and it's Tom Cosser and Liam Brown that lead. It's a close first turn as they all dice into that turn, but Rob Wilson's gone up the inside. So a brilliant first turn by Rob Wilson. He's not going to have as much speed as Tom Cosser as Cosser goes past him on the straight. So Tom Cosser and Liam Brown get themselves back into the front. Rob Wilson still on that inside line trying to find a way through. Rob Heath is in that third, but it's really the race about this first place this time, because Tom Cosser, Liam Brown, they lead at the moment. He would have seen brother Mark go out and win a race fairly straightforwardly. We've got Anthony Sales stopped over here, right outside here. So Tom Cosser and Liam Brown leading the way with Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders. A real shame to see that Anthony Sales has stopped over here, right up against the fence. The last lap flag is made ready then, and it is Tom Cosser and Liam Brown looking very comfortable in that first place, but Rob Wilson isn't too far away. The yellow flags are out, of course, because of the stricken outfit here on the outside. So they can't overtake on that top turn, they can overtake on the bottom turn. So then, Tom Cosser and Liam Brown looking very, very good. It's got very choppy on the outside on that turn at the moment, so you can see Tom desperately trying to stop the machine running too wide. They take a win. Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders finish second. It's going to be third place for Rob Heath and nearly put Sam Heath on with Rob Heath. Rob Heath is passengered by Jay Sullivan, of course, and Dave Buckley and Paul Jasper finish in fourth. Right, race number 5. 6 on the line. Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb on gate 1. Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh on gate 2. Gate 3 is Steph Blythe. In fact, they're the wrong way round there. Gate 3 is Joseph Sturtridge and Sean Hosking. Gate 4 is Steph Blythe and Alistair Sutherland. 5 is Stacey Stell and Chris Townsend. And Pete Shaw and Stephen Russell right on the outside in gate 6. So it's going to be all about stopping Paul Whitelam, I think, in this one, because he is definitely the quickest outfit. But Stacey Stell has made a stellar start as they go off that line. Stacey Stell and Chris Townsend lead into the turn, and Paul Whitelam's in second, so he gives chase. But it's Stacey Stell and Chris Townsend. This is a turn up for the books here, but Paul Whitelam goes round him going into that turn, so it is now Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb that lead. Stacey Stell, and he's not given up though, he's still plugging away on the inside. It's a very close race. Steph Blythe comes very close to the fence over here. So then, Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb really given something to think about there by Stacey Stell in that second. He's now about to lose that second place, I think, as Joe Sturtridge tries to come around the outside of him. He's nearly locked it up in the turn. Gets a bit close there as the passenger puts his hand down on the floor. That's something you don't really want to be doing on the back of one of these things. And you can see for that third place, Joe Sturtridge has been forced wide, and that's leaving a hole for Steph Blythe to come up the inside. So holes are developing where other people are trying to overtake. Joseph's onto that now. He's tucked up the inside. He's now blocked Steph Blythe from coming through in that fourth place. And now Joseph's going up the inside of Stacey Stell. So Stell's gone backwards. Paul Whitelam stopped in the middle of the turn. Something's gone wrong there with Paul Whitelam in that turn. He stopped. So now Joseph Sturtridge has taken everything. Goodness me, what a race this is. Full of events. And it's Joseph Sturtridge who wins the race. Brilliant win for them. Stacey Stell second, Steph Blythe third, Paul Whitelam fourth, Pete Shaw in fifth, and Simon Beanie in sixth place. Goodness me, what an eventful race that was. Let's just catch our breath a bit, I think. Right, Auto Cadets and Cadets. So these race 6, sponsored again by Rhino Goose South. We've got the Auto Cadets and Cadets. We've got 5 of them here today, the youngest children that we see racing on the grass track. There are 2 different classes. Some of them are geared bikes and some of them aren't geared. Archie Whitelam, number 92. Tygan Powell isn't riding. He's a non-starter. Finley Theobald, number 16. Albie Collier, 17. Stashu Stevens is 176. And Braden Blythe, number 37. So we'll see how things start here. This is where it all begins, okay? So all the riders, all the greats started like this. Mark Loram, Gary Havelock, everyone you can think of pretty much started out racing on grass tracks just like this, and it's Archie Whitelam that leads at the moment, but he's quickly chased down by Finley Theobald. Braden Blythe is in that third, so I believe that Archie is in the Cadet class at the front, and I think Finley Theobald is also a Cadet in front as well. So those two are in the Cadet class at the front. They've got gearboxes and things, which means Braden Blythe at the moment leads the Auto Cadet class. So Finley Theobald leading the way. Archie Whitelam in that second place. A lot of these children, I'm trying to remember, I know Archie Whitelam has ridden before, he's had a few outings, but Braden Blythe has been riding at Plymouth Speedway, but he's never had a grass track before. Very excited about riding. Stashu Stevens goes past. I think he's wearing leathers as well, Stashu Stevens, that's pretty cool. So last lap flag for Finley Theobald, looking very good in this one. He's left Archie Whitelam in his dust. Archie, of course, he's on a motocross machine, whereas Finley Theobald's on what they call a slider. Grass track bike, built for this sort of thing, so got a bit of an advantage. I wonder what this race will look like in 20 years. How many of them are going to make it? So the checker flag's made ready, and it's going to be a win for number 16, Finley Theobald. So he gets 11 points, and 9 points for number 92, Archie Whitelam. And it's going to be 8 points for Braden Blythe, 8 points for number 37, Braden Blythe, 7 points for number 17, Albie Collier, and Stashu Stevens is just coming round, and it'll be 6 points for him. Here he comes. So you can see the equipment they've got. It's all nice and cheap at this age. It does get more expensive, I'm told, but at this age, nice cheap bit of equipment, and it's a really cheap way to go racing as well for these children. So Stellar Dispatch sponsor race number 7, the juniors, and we have got Kaya Sales, Archie Rolfe, Caden Mundy, Dylan Amies, Oliver Bovingdon, Jacob Phillips, Zach Beatty, Cooper Russian, Theo Copestake and George Colvin. Some very, very quick lads in the junior class here. Cooper Russian's already, I think, a 4 times British champion. I think he's only 10, and he's already a 4 times British champion. George Colvin is a very quick rider. Archie Rolfe at the moment is the reigning British champion in the cadet, in the auto cadet class though. So he's moved up to juniors, as has Oliver Bovingdon. So away we go with this race then. Fairly even break, but I can see that it's the riders on the inside that seem to have got away. It's actually Theo Copestake that leads into the turn. So somebody I didn't mention at the start, he's made the whole shot. Number 82, Theo Copestake, as they all try to get round the outside of him in that turn. And Zach Beatty's nipped up the inside, so a brilliant ride by Zach Beatty. He takes the lead. Archie Rolfe now takes over him going into this turn. And Cooper Russian is now trying to swamp round the outside of them too. So already action in this first lap of juniors, but it's Archie Rolfe who leads. Cooper Russian has settled into that second place, but he's going to have a go at Archie Rolfe in this turn. He's flat out in the turn. Archie Rolfe hits a divot in the corner, and Cooper Russian now leads going into lap number 2. Zach Beatty's in that third place still after that brilliant first corner. Really intelligent ride by Zach Beatty in that first corner. Dylan Amy's in that 4th place, but he's being hunted down as well, I think, by George Colvin. And George Colvin, in fact, takes over 4th going into that turn. But at the front, number 63, Cooper Russian, 4 times British champion already. He has got some future ahead of him, hasn't he? Look at how quick he is. There's a race for second once again here, Zach Beatty in this second place. He's gone up the inside of Archie Rolfe. He chose to go inside the back marker instead of outside. It almost paid off. Cooper Russian takes the win, number 63. Archie Rolfe has got himself back into that second place. He takes second. Zach Beatty in third. George Colvin not happy with that. He's 4th. Dylan Amy's 5th. Oliver Bovingdon comes home 6th. 7th will be number 82, Theo Copestake, the early leader. And it'll be 8th place for number 8, Caden Mundy. And I believe Kaya Sales is out there in 9th at the moment. She was lapped, I think, so I think she come home in 9th. Stellar Dispatch Juniors, it was a win for Cooper Russian, number 63, 11 points to him. 9 to number 3, Archie Rolfe. 8 to number 48, Zach Beatty. 7 to number 668, George Colvin. 6 to Dylan Amy's number 9. 5 to number 15, Oliver Bovingdon. 4 to number 82. 3 to number 8, and 2 to 09. So away we go with the Inters now, and it's Max Perry who leads. Somebody's come off in the turn. I think that was Charlie Wood. Yes, it's Charlie Wood. He's dropped the machine, just exiting the first turn, and he's not getting up, so there's a red flag. There is a red flag. Max Perry had absolutely flown away from the tapes, and he was leading there, but Charlie Wood has fallen in the first turn. Very experienced on the speedway, Charlie Wood. Turned his attention to grass track, and I'm really sad to see that he's fallen in his first race. We're really grateful to all of our sponsors. We've tried our best to put on a professional image here. We've got, of course, RJC Autos sponsoring us today, JC Pro. There's an outfit firing up behind me now. That's helpful. Darties Inc. Of course, one of the people we were thinking about in the minute silence, of course, was Tony. But Tony Dart's dad, Joe, sponsoring us, of course. Essex Wheels and Engineering, James Rogers and his team. Rhino Goose South, of course. It wouldn't be Bantasia without Rhino Goose South, to be honest. For all your cleaning needs. Relax to Race. Now, this is a new product to me. It's supposed to combat arm pump. I know that we've smothered Alfie Botel in it today because he's never done grass track before, and it's a little bit tough on his arms. So he's absolutely smeared in the stuff, I think, today. So yeah, Relax to Race. LLB Baits, which is carp fishing supplies. They've been great to us, sponsoring the 250 solos today, actually. Stella Dispatch, as I mentioned, a fabulous company that have been so good to us over the last year. Hagen Shocks, they need no introduction really. Hagen Shocks, an absolutely fantastic product in the speedway and grass track world. Properly Protected Sports Insurance are sponsoring us as well, and they do a great job of making sure that you're covered should anything awful happen. Blades Bikes, which is a company down in the local town, who sell all sorts of things, scooters, motorbikes, everything really, but happy to have Blades Bikes as one of our partners. Elite Floors, of course, Edge Composites, and the Isle of Wight Speedway that our club treasurer Ben Ilsley's, of course, got links with, having ridden for the Isle of Wight junior team. The riders come back to line for the rerun of race number 8, Impress Promotions Intermediate Solos. So I think we're just going with the 9, and Charlie Wood's a non-starter. That's a real shame. Problems on the start, something as one of them touching the tapes, I think. So away we go, and it's a loose start, but it is Max Perry that leads as they're halfway down the straight. He leads into the turn, so a great start by Max Perry. Look how quick this lad is. Absolutely flying. He's absolutely on the edge. He just about keeps it in the circuit as well. So Max Perry leads, and I think it's going to be plain sailing from here. Kenzie Cosser has solidly got himself into that second place, and it's Austin Riches in third, but I really don't think they're going to have much of an answer to the flying Max Perry. So at the back is where the squabble's happening at the moment, and I can see at the moment that Max Derrick is in that 5th place, and he's currently trying to hunt down Harrison Rogers for 4th. And they're trying to sort themselves out. But Max Perry at the front, absolutely flying, absolutely on song. He's got the thing lent right over. He's almost got a brilliant long track style. You can't help but wonder how far this lad's going to go in the future. That battle for second has sorted itself out now, because you can see all the back markers causing a bit of trouble here, but Kenzie Cosser is in that 2nd place. Austin Rich is 3rd. Jack Rogers was the back marker there. Max Derrick's now got himself into 4th, so he's getting used to this 250 machine very, very quickly. Checker flag is out for Max Perry. A very convincing win for the world champion. It's going to be a brilliant 2nd place for Kenzie Cosser. 3rd place to Austin Riches, number 46. 4th place will be number 6, Max Derrick, who had to fight hard to get there. Great ride by him. 5th place to number 108, Harrison Rogers. And 6th to number 18, Harley Driscoll Freeman. Then it's Jack Baker, number 67. And we've got number 11, Jack Rogers, out there somewhere. I think he's actually taken the checkered flag, so he's finished 2. So, Dirt Hub sponsor GT140s, race number 9, the budget class as they're called in grass track, little stomp bike motors. Lots of these riders are former riders, and the one that's leading at the moment is Adam Shipp, and he is a former 2-time British 250 champion, and he is a very quick motorcyclist. As you can see, he's forced Paul Smith wide on the first turn, and he's now got Chris Mackett to deal with. So Adam Shipp leads. Chris Mackett's gone into that second place after Paul Smith ran wide, and Paul Smith's gone sideways as well. It's actually Lewis Denham who's in that fourth place. So former British Masters champion Lewis Denham back to the sport on the GT140s. He's in fourth, and he's now taken third because Paul Smith has got problems over there. Problems for Paul Smith. So Adam Shipp, number 16, absolutely flying. He really is the man to catch in this GT140 class. Paul Smith's just pulled up next to us. Something wrong with that bike. He has got a spare machine here today, so he'll probably bring the other one out. Last lap flag then. Chris Mackett in second. Lewis Denham in that third place. Great to see Lewis back. Kevin Bundock's in fourth at the moment, number 56. But it's going to be a win, a comfortable win again for number 16 Adam Shipp. He takes the 11 points available. Second place and 9 points to Chris Mackett, who just about clings on with Lewis Denham in third. Fourth place to Kevin Bundock. Fifth place to Julie Alexander. Sixth place, number 21 Mark Scopes. Seventh to Morgan Alexander. Eighth place is Trevor Stewart, and ninth is Freddie Wood. Sponsored by Dirt Hub GT140s. I'm just waiting for the results for race number 9 for you. Here they come. So it was 11 points, of course, for Adam Shipp, number 16. 9 for number 68, Chris Mackett. 8 for number 181, Lewis Denham. 7 for 56, Kevin Bundock. 6 for number 15, Julie Alexander. 5 for 21. 4 for 13. 3 for 77 and 2 for 75. 1 minute 14.01, and away we go with the second of the GT140 races, and it is Lester Denham that leads into the turn. So the father of Lewis Denham, Lester Denham, a very good rider in his own right back in the day. It's got a bit packed up behind him though, because he's not going as quick as the ones behind him, and it's Mark Chessel who leads coming out of the turn. So another returning rider, Mark Chessel. He leads this GT140 race, but he doesn't look safe because he's going to be overtaken by Steve Newsham on that outside, I think. Got very close in that turn. Steve Newsham dives up on the outside. Mark Chessel plugging away on the inside. He's keeping to the flags, but it's going to be between these two, I think. Mark Chessel and Steve Newsham. Lester Denham in that third, but he's about to be overtaken for all that third place as they go into that turn. So he's lost third now. He's gone back to fourth. But the battle at the front still, with Mark Chessel leading, Steve Newsham plugging away. Former British upright champion Steve Newsham. He's a very good motorcyclist. He's seen Mark Chessel go wide, and he's tried to switch up the inside going into this turn. He saw Mark Chessel go wide in the turn, and he switched himself up the inside. So going into this last turn, it is Mark Chessel, but only by a whisker, because Steve Newsham is all over the back of him as they come into this turn. He needs to get the drive down. He's struggling to get the drive down, but he just about hangs on. Mark Chessel wins. Steve Newsham in second. Very close finish there between those two. Johnny Vernham and Obed Cooper having a battle at the back as well. There was battles all through the pack, but really it was about those front two. But it was a win. 11 points for Mark Chessel. Perfect return to the sport after many, many years absent. 1:25.66. Wow. That is a big difference in times there. That is a huge difference. 9 seconds, I think, the difference between those two times. So Adam Shipp, absolutely on it. So who have we got in this one? We've got Luke Harris, number 26, coming out of gate 7. He's going to be one to watch for sure. Tim Grigg it is that makes the start, though. Tim Grigg, the international flat track racer. He's made the whole shot. Luke Harris goes to dive round the outside. Can he lead coming out the turn? Yes, he can. A brilliant ride by Luke Harris. Dudley Heathen Speedway rider, of course. Very, very quick 250 rider as well. Phil Thomas has got himself into that third. And it's Ben Phillips in fourth at the moment, who's changed over to the 250 class for this season. So Luke Harris, number 26, leads. Looking very, very fast. Looking in control. Tim Grigg, you can see, on the motocross style machine in that second place, but Luke Harris looking very, very quick in front. So last lap flag out for Luke Harris. Tim Grigg in that second place, got no answer to him. Completely different styles between Luke Harris and Tim Grigg. At the moment, Luke Harris is making the most of it, but Tim very quick out the start. He's going to have to find an answer for Luke Harris very, very quickly though, because Harris is absolutely flying at the front. He takes the win in this 250 race. Tim Grigg comes home in second. Third place is going to be Phil Thomas, just from number 34 Ben Phillips. Kai Ward comes home fifth. Sixth place to Phil Kinman, seventh to Gary Cook. Lee Bassett in eighth. It's going to be ninth place for Jake Breeze. And Vinnie Smith, who's just moved up from youth, comes home in 10th. Difficult race for Vinnie, I think. So 11 points there go to Luke Harris. Perhaps unsurprisingly, he's a very, very quick rider. When she brings the sheet back, I'm going to have a look and see how that compared to Max Perry at home. You've probably written it down and you can see, but I didn't have a look then. I'll be interested to know. Right, race 11. Race 12, of course. LLB Bates sponsors the 250s, and away we go. And it is Graham Thomas, another British champion that's with us. He leads into the turn on that lovely sounding two-stroke machine. Chris Still's in second place and he's chasing him hard there. In fact, Chris Still's gone wide there and he nearly let Cameron Taylor up the inside of him. So Cameron Taylor in third at the moment. He's one I'm keeping an eye on because Cameron Taylor is straight up from youth at the moment. He's in third at the minute, but he's hunting down Chris Still for that second place. And he looks very, very quick. He'll get it together as the day goes on, I'm sure, as he gets used to adult racing. He's getting very close to Chris Still in that second place. It's definitely where the action's going to be, I think, because Cameron Taylor looks very quick behind Chris Still. The front two riders at the moment, both on motocross style engine machines, seems to be suiting this track at the moment because Cameron Taylor can't seem to find a way up to the back of Chris Still, and actually pushed Chris Still onto the back of Graham Thomas. So now those two are having a battle. So it's getting close at the front now as the checkered flag's made ready. Graham Thomas looks like he's tiring because Chris Still's up the inside. It's close to the finish. Whoa, very close to the finish. Graham Thomas takes the win though. Chris Still second, Cameron Taylor third, Carl Bedingfield fourth, Adam Hawker fifth, Jordan Derrick was sixth, Danny Curl in seventh, and it's going to be eighth place for Aidan Arthur by the looks of things. Just 8 finishes, I believe, in this one. Max Perry not very far off the 250s, the fastest 250s as well. So race 13, the 350 solos get off the line, sponsored by Blades Bikes, and into the turn they go, and it is Wayne Broadhurst, number 158, who leads. They're all very close in that turn. Jamie Fenn-Smith chucks one up the inside of him, and John Cox has made use of that, and he's come up the inside too. So a brilliant battle between these three. They are together as they go around that turn. It's John Cox who leads at the moment though. Wayne Broadhurst has been forced wide and he's stopped on the back straight. Absolute shame for Wayne Broadhurst, but Jamie Fenn-Smith, he's very hard on the turns. He's pushed John Cox wide again, and it is Jamie Fenn-Smith who leads. Wow, a real, what would we call that, a ballsy move, I reckon, by Jamie Fenn-Smith. He dived up the inside twice going into that top corner. He pushed Wayne Broadhurst wide, then he got up the inside of John Cox, and he's now leading the race as he takes the last lap flag. Spectacular style of Jamie Fenn-Smith. Honed his skills on the beach at Mablethorpe, Jamie Fenn-Smith. He's a fantastic beach racer. But as you can see, he goes pretty good on this 350 as well, because he's going to come round and take the 11 points. So, Jamie Fenn-Smith, number 32, he takes the win. John Cox comes home in second. I don't think he'll be very happy with how forcefully he was moved over. Michael Peters in third, number 37. Liam Ashcroft fourth. Martin Adams fifth, number 21, George Pardo in sixth. So a brilliant race. Those first two laps there of the 350s absolutely heart-stopping. Jeez. So we've got Relax to Race 500cc sidecars. Race 14 coming to line. The Continental style 500cc sidecars. What a lineup we got here. Josh Goodwin, number 3. With Liam Brown in the chair. We've already seen Liam out on the 1000 sidecar. Now he's on the 500. Former European champions, multi-British champions as well. Number 4, Rich Wenham. In contrast, it's his first go, so right next to a British champion. Number 5, James Hartley and Shay Minahane. They're a quick crew as well. Mitch Godden and Paul Smith, vice champions, of course, in 2018. And then we've got 2 quick outfits on the outside, Rachel Cox and Sean Hughes, and away they go. So, It's Mitch Godden and Paul Smith that lead, but it's Josh Goodwin and Liam Brown that are up the inside. It's close into the turn. They all try and throw it sideways to stop themselves, but it's very close as they come out this turn. I can't really pick out the winner or the leader at the point. It's James Hartley who leads. He watched them all go wide and he's swept up the inside. A brilliant ride by James Hartley, and Mitch Godden's run into him. Mitch Godden runs at the back of James Hartley. I think there was a problem for James Hartley. In fact, I can see there was a problem for James Hartley. Mitch Godden had nowhere to go. It looked like Mitch had run into him, but that didn't seem right. So yeah, problems for James Hartley after a brilliant first turn. So Josh Goodwin and Liam Brown then lead the race. In fact, the race has been stopped. The clerk of the course has stopped the race. He's not happy with what went on there. And James Hartley's not happy with what went on either. He's marching over towards us. He's really not impressed with what's happened. So it looks like we're not having the 500 sidecars now. It looks like the next race is coming out instead. That's the upright. So we'll come back to race 14 later on. We've got race 15, the upright solos. So SBS Epos upright solos are now coming to the line, and we've got some really good riders in this one. Graham Brown out of gate 1. He does a lot of the veteran long track series. Michael Norton. Nigel Coates is a very good rider as well. Gary Finlow looked quick in practice. Paul Morphy, number 13. Number 17 is Tim Mount. Number 20 is Paul Knott. Now, Paul used to race Grasstrack throughout the 2000s, really. Very exciting rider, and he's back on the Grasstrack on the upright class. So looking forward to seeing what Knotty gets up to. Eric Pike, number 24. Jason Prin, number 25. I think he's former St Austell Speedway rider, Jason Prin. So very quick on his upright as well. Max Pankhurst completes the lineup of 10. So pick a winner from that lot. I mean, they're all very good riders. We could go anywhere here. In race 15, they're all on the line, ready to go. So it is a very even break, but it seems like the outside gates have worked the best, and it's Jason Prin that leads, but Graham Brown is hunting him down into that first turn. Number 25, Jason Prin, looks very stylish as he exits the turn. Paul Knott's got himself into that third place, and he's chasing Graham Brown as they go into that turn. So there's a race on for second, because Graham Brown is in that second, but Paul Knott wants it, and he goes past him, but he lifts violently as he goes down the back straight. So that race for second is really hotting up, because Graham Brown will not give it up easily. Knotty's changed to the inside. He's come up the inside now, and he's now getting past Graham Brown, but Brown cuts across the front of him. It's a really close battle for that second place. Paul Knott looks very quick, but he's just not quite got enough to get past. Now he's past Graham Brown, but he runs wide into the turn, and Brown's back up the inside of him again. So a real ding-dong for that second place between those two riders. The last lap flags out. Jason Prin's home and dry here, but that race for second. Paul Knott's just got it at the moment, but Graham Brown comes up the inside of him on that turn. Can he attack him on this turn as well? Jason Prin's got it all his own way. Graham Brown's gone up the inside. He's taken over that second place. I think Knotty's tiring. Yes, it's Graham Brown that takes second. Paul Knott, just holds on to third, I think, from Max Pankhurst. Nigel Coates, Eric Pike, Tim Mount, Paul Morphy, Gary Finlow, and Michael Norton. Wow, Jason Prin was home and dry, but that race for second was absolutely brilliant between Graham Brown and Paul Knott. So 500 sidecars. We're not really sure what's going to happen here, because it was all over the place in that first running of the race. Away we go, and it's a very even start. Mitch Godden again has made the start with Josh Goodwin in that second. That's what happened in the first running, of course, and Josh pushed him hard into the turn. Sean Hughes has gone right round the outside. He's gone very wide to try and come round them. But it's Mitch Godden and Paul Smith who lead then. Josh Goodwin and Liam Brown in that second place. Sean Hughes and Lewis Bennett in the third. We've got our newcomers at the back, Rich Wenham and Sean Cooley, and Rachel Cox and Scott Guttridge as well. But at the front, Mitch Godden, Paul Smith, leading Josh Goodwin and Liam Brown at the moment. At the moment, Josh and Liam have got no answer to them. But they don't look any slower than them. They look exactly the same speed, but it's very difficult to overtake on one of these machines. You can see Paul Smith on the back of Mitch working hard, making sure the exactly the right amount of weight is over that back wheel at exactly the right time. So perhaps a little bit more straightforward than he was hoping. Rachel Cox has pulled into the middle whilst this is all going on, but it's going to be a fine win in this first 500cc sidecar race for number 9, Mitch Godden and Paul Smith. 7 points to them. Josh Goodwin and Liam Brown second, Sean Hughes and Lewis Bennett third, and Rich Wenham and Sean Cooley will pick up a very deserved 4th place. So well done to them. Back to the uprights for race number 16 now. Race 16, which is the SBS EPOS uprights. And we've got some quick boys in this one too. So let's see how it all unfolds. As the tapes go up, I can see that Darren Phillips has made an absolute flyer off gate 1. And he leads into the turn. So Darren Phillips, number 35. He's changed his number this year. He's chased by Tim Carnock, but Tim Carnock runs wide and Chris Malone comes up the inside. Chris Malone gets into that 2nd place, but now he's overtaken by Mike Dowling. They're all fighting each other in that 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment. And I almost missed that Bob Dolman is there in 4th. He really is one of the meeting favourites and he's way back in the pack at the moment. So, lots to still happen here because Bob Dolman's trying to work his way past some very quick upright riders. Already the last lap flag's being made ready, so Darren Phillips really is setting a pace out the front. He's absolutely flying as he comes around this turn. Mike Dowling has managed to settle himself into that 2nd place, but Darren Phillips is catching up with some back markers now on this last lap. Mike Dowling has got in that 2nd place and is very comfortable, followed by Chris Malone in 3rd, Bob Dolman in 4th, Tim Carnock in 5th. What a lineup we've got here with Tim Carnock all the way back in 5th. Dolman's gone up the inside in that turn, but Darren Phillips wins. Mike Dowling comes 2nd, very close to that 3rd. Chris Malone just holds on to it. Bob Dolman in 4th, Tim Carnock 5th. There is going to be some things to sort out here. Gordon Walker 6th, Giles Dismore in 7th, Phil Spencer 8th, and Andy Humphreys returning to the sport once again 9th. Right, race 17, old and new sidecars. This is the budget sidecar class. We've had the budget solo class. So these have got little GS 500 air-cooled engines in them. Very affordable, properly protected, old and new sidecars. Leave the line, and it's going to be Mark Courtney and Leon Torres that lead like they often do, going into that first turn, but they are in close quarters with Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney. So, Mark Courtney in front, Liam Brown in 2nd, but he does look a bit quicker on that back straight. So Mark Courtney and Leon Torres have virtually dominated this class in the last 5 years or so. Can Liam Brown, multi-British Masters champion, can he put an end to the domination of Mark Courtney? It doesn't look like it at the moment, does it? Because Mark Courtney and Leon Torres are looking very, very quick, the Cornishman. 3rd place is Brian Hatch and Lou Wharton. And 4th is Steve Hurrell and Julie Williams. So, in fact, that's actually Dylan Newton in that 3rd place. I've identified the wrong rider. It's Dylan Newton in 3rd place at the moment. So, we've got Cornishman 1st and 3rd. And Liam Brown lives in Cornwall, so last lap flag goes out then for Mark Courtney and Leon Torres. Brian Hatch and Lou Wharton are actually 5th at the moment. They are the track builders of this circuit today, down there in 5th, so enjoying their ride out. But Mark Courtney and Leon Torres look absolutely fantastic as they come out of this turn. They take the win, 7 points to 72. Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney, 5 points to them. 169, Dylan Newton and Willow Jeffrey, they finished 3rd. 4th place to Steve Hurrell and Julie Williams, number 333. And 5th place to our track builders, Brian Hatch and Lou Wharton. Edward Kennett, flying in his first one, of course. Who's going to stop Edward this time? Thomas Rowlett, James Laker, James Wright, the other heat winner in that first one. Aaron Butcher also was going well. So James Wright and Edward Kennett come together here. They both won a race. They both will want to cling on to that maximum. So away we go with race 18, and it is Kennett and Wright who make the gate, but it's Edward Kennett that leads into the first turn. Alfie Botel's made a good start. He's in that 3rd place, but straightens up in the turn. So James Wright and Edward Kennett fighting it out. James Wright comes up the inside of Edward Kennett into that turn. So James Wright gets himself past Edward Kennett in a very fast move. going into this pit corner, and he streaks away at the front. He's absolutely flying, James Wright, at the front. Edward Kennett's in that second place, and Aaron Butcher's actually got into that third. Alfie Botel made a great start, but ended up running wide, but he's coming up the inside of Butcher, I think, here. Starting to get to grips with this grass track now, Alfie Botel. Well, there's a bike stopped in the middle of the circuit here on this turn, making their way back, but they're safely back off the circuit. So then at the front, look at the style of James Wright. He is absolutely flying. Set to come back to the Speedway, of course, in 2020. Didn't happen. He's back for 2021 at both Newcastle and Sheffield. Before he does all that, he's winning races here at Bantasia. He takes the win. Second place to Edward Kennett, who slows up again coming to the line. Aaron Butcher does cling on to that third. Alfie Botel fourth. Close for this fifth. Whoa. Split those two. Split those two. Ryan Ashcroft very close to Harry Dent. Thomas Rowell at 7th. Aaron Schubert 8th. And we dropped James Laker dropped the machine. Race 19 then, the Stella Dispatch 500cc solos are already on the line. We've got James Shanes coming to this one. He came second in his first one. He won't like that. Very quick rider, of course. 2 times European champion. James Shanes, very quick grass track rider. Stephen Green, number 66, looked quick in his first ride as well. Charlie Powell's off the inside this time. Perhaps he can make that work for him as they go from the line. It's actually Jake Mulford that's made a good start, but James Shanes overtakes him before the turn. And it's Shanes who leads into the turn then. So James Shanes, followed by Jake Mulford in that second place. Charlie Powell's in third and Stephen Green's fourth. And it's Chad Wertzfeld in fifth at the moment. So James Shanes at the front, but the battle's for that third at the moment because Stephen Green had to fend off Charlie Powell for that third place. And now he chases after Jake Mulford, the youngster. He comes roaring up the inside of Jake Mulford going in here. They get very close in the pit turn. It's very close in that turn between Stephen Green and Jake Mulford. But Green now goes past Mulford going back into the top turn. But he's overcooked the corner and he's fallen off. Drama for Stephen Green. He overcooked the corner going in and then he fell on the machine and another machine has run into him. So problems over there. Both riders are up and okay. James Peters was the rider who had to drop the machine. Stephen Green had lost the machine right on the racing line. Thankfully Stephen Green was up and away, and James Peters, I think he just arrived too quick to be able to scrub enough speed off and had to drop the machine. So we wait to see what the clerk of the course wants to do here. I would say it's almost certainly an exclusion for Stevie Green. So once again, a big thank you to all of our partners. Isle of Wight Speedway, of course, we talked about earlier. Ben's links of Isle of Wight Speedway, Edge Composites, Elite Floors, Blade Spikes, and a new sponsor to Grasstrack Blade Spikes as well. Properly Protected. If you are a rider out there watching and you need to get yourself some insurance, we do recommend Properly Protected. Hagen Shocks, Stella Dispatch, LLB Baits for your carp fishing needs. Relax to Race. Sure, a few of them are feeling a bit sore at the moment. They need a bit of that. Rhino Goose South, Essex Wheels, Darty's Inc, of course, JC Pro Racewear, RJC Autos, and we've got some banners as well down the other end of the track, which we'll go through later as well. We've had some brilliant support from our partners for this meeting. We've got Zircon, which is Mitch Godden's kindly donated for that banner, and SBS EPOS, which is like a they do sort of transactions and things for banks and things, from what I can gather. An excellent company, really great for us. Dirt Hub, of course, which Paul Alton, of course, former grass tracker, he's always been so great for Grasstrack Banter, and we're really grateful to him. And Hog Racing as well, always been great to us. TTL Photography, and Custom Clothing by Impress Promotions. And I can't see what our last banner is. That's bad, isn't it? I'll go and have a look later, and I'll make sure that we give them a plug too. So massive thanks to all of our partners. While you were away, there was a sidecar race, and it was race 21, I believe, which was a win for Tom Cosser, number 29, and his passenger Liam Brown. Second place with 5 points was number 92, Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb. Third place was 191, Trevor Heath. and Sam Heath, and 4th place was number 32, Chris Walker and Sam Fumarola. 1:20.36 was the time. Possibly that you missed race 20 as well. That was a win for Mark Cosser, number 37. 13 was 2nd, 24 was 3rd, and 14 was 4th. 1 minute 19.64. We're just about to see race 22 in the Rhino Goose South 1000cc sidecars, and away we go, and it's a great start by Simon Beanie. He leads into the turn, so it's Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh who lead. Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson in that 2nd place. Fumarola goes steaming past Beanie on the back straight. So, Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson. The race has been stopped for some reason here. I'm not sure why, not sure what's happened, but they've come to a stop. Red flags are out. So another connection issue, hopefully it'll go in a minute, but you haven't missed the finish of a race. We're still in this race number 22. Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson are about to take the win, and they duly do. Stacey Stell and Chris Townsend, who led the race early on. Simon Beanie made a very good start again. Stacey Stell took over the lead, and then Matt Fumarola went past the pair of them. So 7 points to number 15, Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson. Where it all begins, of course, for all grass track riders. All the superstars have started here. I can remember James Shane's actually riding at this level back many years ago, probably about 20 years ago actually. That's aging me, isn't it? And he was quick even then, really. So away they go, and it's this time Finley Theobald's made an absolutely electric start, and he leads going into the first turn, and Archie Whitelam is in that second. So here we go, number 16, Finley Theobald. Looks good at the moment. So youth grass track on a little bit of a lull at the moment, or it's a bit on. It has been on a lull for several years. It's picking up a little bit now. You saw the junior class has got some very fast riders, and there's several others that aren't here as well, which we would usually have. One that comes to mind is Thomas Vinning from the Channel Islands. Very good grass track rider. Comes over several times a year, and unfortunately, due to the COVID restrictions, Thomas Vinning not with us today, and it's a shame because he's another good junior rider. But the autos and cadets at the moment on a little bit of a lull. There you can see that they are just sort of little motocross bikes. They're quite easy to get hold of. Always looking for more riders in this class, and then they get up to that junior class, and it's really good. So Finley Theobald takes the checker flag. And Archie Whitelow, number 92, is second. And third will be Braden Blythe, number 37. So, the autos and cadets coming round. Stashu Stevens comes over to take 5th place. No Tegan Powell today, so he doesn't score any points, unfortunately. But it was a win, 11 points to Finley Theobald, number 16. Sponsored by Stella Dispatch, one of our great sponsors, one of our great partners for this event. Race 24, the juniors. If you remember in that first one, Cooper Russian, he didn't make such a good start, but then he just blasted around the outside of everyone. And he led the race after about the first lap. So away they go, and once again Cooper's not made the best start. It's Archie Rolfe who's flown out the traps, but Cooper Russian's right on his shoulder this time, and he goes round the outside. Number 63, Cooper Russian, he leads as they exit the turn. Dylan Amies has got himself up into that 2nd place, but Archie Rolfe's coming back up the inside of him. Zach Beatty is in 4th, looking at what he can do from there. Zach Beatty, of course, tucked up the inside of everyone in the last time we saw the juniors, and he'd be looking to see how he can get past Dylan Amies for that 3rd. But at the front, Cooper Russian, absolutely flying, on awesome form at the moment. Archie Rolfe in that 2nd place. The battle is for 3rd, and Zach Beatty's gone up the inside of Dylan Amies into that turn for 3rd place. So it looks like Zach Beatty's got himself past Dylan Amies, and he now chases after Archie Rolfe to try and make up some ground in that 2nd. So a good ride once again by Zach Beatty. Last lap flag goes out for Cooper Russian. Archie Rolfe riding one in that 2nd place, of course, so he just made his way up into the junior class. But Cooper Russian, let's have a look at him around this turn. A brilliant turn once again by Cooper Russian, absolutely flying. Squirts the motor on, takes 2nd flag. Another win for Cooper Russian. 2nd place to Archie Rolfe, number 3. Zach Beatty comes home in 3rd. 4th place to Dylan Amies. 5th to George Colvin. 6th place will be Oliver Bovingdon. And 7th is Theo Copestake. 8th place is Caden Mundy. And 9th place out there is Kaya Sales, number 09. So 2 wins out of 2 then for Cooper Russian. He looks in sensational form today. He does look very, very quick indeed. So continuing with our youth races, we've got the Impress Promotions Intermediate class next. Race 25. First race, of course, won by our world champion that's here today, Max Perry. We've got European, British and world champions here at Bantasia 1. Max Perry off of gate 10 this time though, but he was sublime in his first ride. He's got a really lovely style on that 250. I can also see Charlie Wood has joined again, so that's good to see Charlie back, but it's actually Kenzie Cossey that makes a good start, but it's Max Perry that leads into the turn. Max Perry leads then, Kenzie Cossey in that 2nd place as they come round this turn. He leads. Austin Rich is in that 3rd. I'm going to keep an eye on Charlie Wood in 4th as well, because he's a good rider. At the moment, Charlie Wood, he's fallen in the turn again, Charlie Wood, just as I'm talking about him. He's fallen in the turn. I think we've missed that one, but Max Perry, he might have his race stopped here. They've got the yellow flags out for Max Perry. They've dropped the yellow flag, so he can carry on his way. It does mean that we're a little bit strung out in this intermediate race. I think Max is still waiting to find out what he needs to do, which has got a bonus of letting Kenzie Cossey catch up with him a little bit, but he's back on his way again now. You can see, absolutely brilliant. Turns on the throttle. Last lap for Max Perry. Kenzie Cossey riding very well today in that 2nd place. He really is riding tremendously today. Can't be long until Kenzie goes up to adult class, so he's doing really well in his last couple of years as a junior. He was an intermediate in this case, but it's Max Perry. He's going through the back markers like a hot knife through butter. He takes the win. Kenzie Cossey will get 2nd place. Austin Riches finishes in 3rd. I think Max Derrick, I believe, number 6, who's coming over the line now, I think he's the 4th rider, I think. So race 25 for confirmation. We've got 11, 9 and 8. 7 points was to number 6, Max Derrick. 6 points to number 18, Harley Driscoll Freeman. 6 points to 108. 5 points to 67. 4 points... Oh, hang on, I've messed it up. I knew I'd do that in the end. 11 points to number 5, 9 points to 22, 8 to 46, 7 to number 6, 6 to 18, 5 to 108, 4 to 67, 3 to 33, 2 to 14 and 1 to 11. And we're away with the GT140s, and I can already see Adam Shipp leading out of this turn. So Adam Shipp is away. Paul Smith has just tucked himself into second, and Lester Denham has gone through into third. So Lester Denham very quick off the starts. Lester does tend to tail off as the race goes on, but he's up there at the moment in third. Paul Smith is a very quick rider in that second, but I really don't think anyone's going to have an answer to Adam Shipp, so we'll keep an eye on this battle for second. I think Paul Smith's confirmed his place in that second place. They're all over each other in the back of the pack. There's Ron Stewart in amongst it as well, absolutely crawling all over each other for the minor placings. So Adam Shipp takes the last lap flag. Paul Smith is there in second at the moment. Lester Denham holds on for that third. But he has got Morgan Alexander, Ron Stewart all over the back of him. And it's Jordan Cross as well who's trying to get round Ron Stewart. So Adam Shipp does take the win comfortably too. Paul Smith is going to be second. And Lester Denham, number 81, third. Morgan Alexander, fourth. Jordan Cross gets himself up to fifth in the end. Ron Stewart sixth. Mark Scope seventh. Julie Alexander is in eighth. Tony Vernham ninth. So Dirt Hub GT140s race 27 coming up now. Steve Newsham coming off of gate 1. He had a good ride in his first one. Had a battle all the way really in the first ride with Mark Chessel, number 758. They meet again here, but they've got Lewis Denham to contend with, and Chris Mackett as well, who went well in his first ride. So we're mixing it up a little bit here. Be interesting to see who comes out on top. But Mark Chessel, the first race winner, can he repeat that feat here? Lewis Denham's flown off the start there. Made a really good start, but it suddenly seems to have stopped, and Chris Mackett takes over the lead as they go down that back straight. So it's Chris Mackett who leads into the first turn. Lewis Denham goes round the outside of him though, and Mark Chessel's plugging away on the inside. There's a fall in the middle of the pack, but it's Chris Mackett who leads at the moment. The yellow flags are out for that fall in the first turn. Mark Chessel's already thinking about how he's going to deal with this. The red flags are up. The race will be stopped because there's a rider trapped under his bike, I believe, over here. Yeah, I can see that Trevor Stewart's up, so he'll be fine. Not sure if he'll take his place in the rerun. We'll have to wait and see. So look out for that on our Facebook, because Simon Holtby's doing something really good there for the sport. Got some bikes that he's willing to lend out, and you can have a go at this class. But away we go with this one. Race 27, Chris Mackett once again gets himself in front. Lewis Denham follows him in. Denham's gone much tighter this time on the turn. He tried to ride round him in the first one and lost his legs, but Chris Mackett leads, and Lewis Denham's in second. Mark Chessel's in that third place at the moment, and he's going to be trying to find his way past because he'll want to maintain that maximum. In fact, he's really quick out the turn, but Lewis Denham's giving Chris Mackett something to think about here. So Chris Mackett leads, Lewis Denham in second, and Mark Chessel, the first leg leader, in that third, waiting to pounce. We've got a good race on here though between these front three. They are all together going into this pit turn. Chris Mackett still leads though. You can see with the lack of power they have to try their best to not let the bike go too sideways, but keep on that inside line. It's a really technical skill, I think, that these boys have got, and obviously Chris Mackett's been riding them many years, and he's keeping himself right on the inside. So Chris Mackett leads into lap 4. Lewis Denham still in that second place. Mark Chessel's got no answer for them at the moment. Steve Newsham now coming on to terms with Kevin Bundock for that fourth place, and he's just slid past him there. But coming around this last bend, it's going to be a win for Chris Mackett. He takes the win. Lewis Denham second, Mark Chessel third, Steve Newsham fourth, Kevin Bundock fifth, Glyn Stanton finishes in sixth, Christopher Orris will be seventh, Freddie Wood eighth, and Obed Cooper finishes in 9th. So it was 6 points to number 56, Kevin Bundock, 5 points to number 811, Glyn Stanton, 4 points to number 180, 3 points to 574, and 2 points to 75 as we get going with this 250 race. LLB Bates 250s, and it's Tim Grigg that leads into the turn. But I can see somebody going very fast around the outside of him. It's Kai Ward that's leading coming off this turn. So Tim Grigg and Kai Ward get very close as they come past us. Kai Ward's gone past Tim Grigg into that turn, so he now leads down the back straight. So Tim Grigg, who was very quick off the start, he's got a fight on here because he'll be up the inside on that motocross engine, and Kai Ward will be flying around the outside on the Speedway engine. You can see they're very close as they go into this turn. This is what 250 racing is all about in Grasstrack. Kai Ward on the outside and Tim Grigg on the inside as they go back down that back straight, and the last lap flag's made ready. Tim Grigg is much quicker into the turns. Kai Ward's much quicker out of the turns. And as they come over the last lap flag, it is absolutely neck and neck. Nothing between them at the moment. Kai Ward is much quicker in the middle of the corner. But Tim Grigg is so fast into the turns, and they're still battling it out, these two. Tim Grigg gets his nose in front. Has he got enough as they go into this turn? Is he going to keep himself in front now as they come around this last bend? Kai Ward's mounting a challenge on this last turn, but I think Tim Grigg's got enough. Tim Grigg wins it. Kai Ward in second. Third place goes to Lee Bassett, number 3. Adam Hawker in 4th. Carl Bedingfield 5th. Gary Cook in 6th. LLB Bates 250 solos. Heat number 2 in this second leg. Race 29. And I'm just looking for Graham Thomas, who won his first race, and Luke Harris, who won his first race, but it's Cameron Taylor who makes the start, but Graham Thomas goes flying past him into that first turn. So Graham Thomas leads. Cameron Taylor comes up the inside very forcefully there, and Taylor leads. It's very close between these three. Graham Thomas goes back up the inside, and once again we've got a battle between the JRMs and the motocross machines, because Graham Thomas leads. Cameron Taylor's in that second, but he goes up the inside of him going into this turn. You can see how much quicker the motocross engine is going into the corner, but once they get into the corner, the JRM is much quicker, and it's Cameron Taylor who leads his first adult 250 Grasstrack meeting. Luke Harris is in that second place at the moment. He's forced Graham Thomas wide. Graham Thomas, does he have an answer to Luke Harris? He's much quicker into the corner, but I think now that Luke Harris has got that inside, it's going to be very tough for Graham Thomas to get past these front two. Last lap flag goes out then, and Cameron Taylor looks like he's going to win his first adult race here. He looks very quick on that RTS machine. Luke Harris and Graham Thomas in that second place are still battling over that second, although I think now Luke Harris has got away, although he's lost his steel shoe coming around that turn. Cameron Taylor wins, Luke Harris second, Graham Thomas third, Chris Still fourth. Close on the line for fifth between Phil Thomas and Ben Phillips. Seventh place to Danny Curl and Jake Breeze. Eighth place with Jordan Derrick ninth. And Vinnie Smith, I think, will pick up the points for 10th. So, race 30. Second leg for the 350cc solos. Oh, someone's touched the tapes. I think that was John Cox there that went through the tapes. So we have got a bit of a tape issue there. I think John Cox touched the tapes. Really good to see Cameron going so well. He was one of the riders that we were really looking forward to seeing here. Oh, it's a flag start, so that's what was going on over there. They had a flag start, quite a patchy flag start as well, but it is Wayne Broadhurst who leads into the turn. Throws the thing sideways. John Cox is in that second place and Michael Peters in third. So Wayne Broadhurst, much better fortunes in this one as he leads back into the pit turn, although he catches a bit of ground going into the turn. Wasn't a gentle turn like he wanted. I'm looking for Jamie Fenn-Smith, who is back in fourth at the moment, I believe. He's got to work his way through, but Wayne Broadhurst at the front, making no mistakes this time. He leads. John Cox is in that second, although John Cox has now stopped. So now mechanical problems for John Cox as well. Real shame for John Cox, who was really well placed then. There's a battle going on at the back between Marcus Crutchington and several other riders, Steve Tideswell as well. But Wayne Broadhurst takes the last lap. He looks home and dry here. He looks very comfortable. He's gone very slow into that turn. I'm a little bit worried. He was breaking down then after I said that, but he's okay. He's carrying on. Jamie Fenn-Smith is quite far back, so I can't see him reaching him at this point. As they come round the bend for the last time, it's a win for Wayne Broadhurst. Jamie Fenn-Smith, second place this time. Third for Mike Peters. Fourth place to Martin Adams. 5th place is George Pardo. Here's this battle for 6th, which Steve Tidewell wins in the end. Liam Ashcroft in 7th, Patrick Crook 8th, Marcus Crutchington losing out there, 9th place in the end. So we go 3 wheels once again for race 31. It's the Relaxed to Race 500cc sidecars. And Mitch Godden and Paul Smith won the opening ride, ahead of Josh Goodwin and Liam Brown. I can see that we've got 5 outfits, so it doesn't look like we've got 6 outfits. Brilliant, we've got a full complement. So James Hartley and Shay Minahane, whatever the problem was, they've resolved it. They're back in gate 5 and they are out in race 31. So 6 outfits on the line. What could happen here in this 500cc sidecar race? And problems there on the line for James Hartley. He's gone straight through the tapes that have just been fixed. And he's left Shay Minahane behind. I think he's a little bit excited today, James. He didn't look happy when he stopped in the first ride. And he's just gone straight through the tapes in this ride. So the 500cc sidecars look like they're ready. The tapes are ready as well. And they fly up and away we go. And it's a very even start. But Mitch Godden and Paul Smith have broken away as they go in that straight. And it's Mitch Godden who leads into the turn. Sean Hughes is trying to come round the outside of Josh Goodwin for that 2nd place. But he runs out of room. But it's Mitch Godden at the front. James Hartley now is working his way through. He's tucked up the inside of Sean Hughes and he's now chasing after Josh Goodwin for that 2nd place. So James Hartley and Shay Minahane very wound up for today, looking very, very fast in that 3rd place. They'll be trying to find a way past Josh Goodwin. He's got a way past Josh Goodwin. A brilliant ride by James Hartley as he comes up the inside of the former European champion. So James Hartley sets about Mitch Godden. He's looking very quick in that 2nd place. Josh Goodwin in that 3rd. He won't like being overtaken like that. It's not very often you get past Josh Goodwin like that. So the last lap flag is out, but this battle for 2nd is still on because James Hartley is trying to ride defensive now. He'll hear Josh Goodwin behind him. He'll know he's not very far away. He'll be trying everything to keep him at bay as they come around this last turn. It's going to be a win for Mitch Godden and Paul Smith. A fantastic win for them. A great 2nd place for number 5, James Hartley and Shay Minahane. 3rd place to Josh Goodwin and Liam Brown. Sean Hughes and Lewis Bennett come home 4th. And it will be Rich Wenham and Sean Cooley who finish 5th. And Rachel Cox and Scott Guttridge claim the 6th place finish. The upright class, the SBS Epos uprights, race 32. Bob Dolman will be looking for a better ride this time, as too will Tim Kernock, who had a disappointing first ride. Graham Brown was good in his first one too, so lots of names in this one, but it's Bob Dolman that leads. Going into the turn, Bob Dolman leads. He's followed in there by Graham Brown with Tim Kernock up the inside, so all the ones that we thought would be there are. But it's Bob Dolman, Tim Kernock in that 2nd place, Graham Brown 3rd, Nigel Coates has slotted into 4th, and Mike Dowling's in 5th at the moment. So at the front, Bob Dolman looking very fast, very experienced rider. He won't be happy with that ride in his first race. This is much more where we're used to seeing Bob Dolman at the front, but Tim Kernock won't be happy with that either. He wants to come past him, and he'll be looking for any mistake that Bob Dolman makes. He'll be up the inside. So in 3rd place as well, Graham Brown and Mike Dowling having a bit of a battle. And Tim Kernock's actually stopped. It gets very close as they come past us. I'm very glad that Mike Dowling and Graham Brown have got so many years of experience, because Tim Kernock had stopped on the start, finished straight. So Bob Dolman comes around this turn, back on form. He takes the win. Number 16, Bob Dolman. 2nd place, 282 Mike Dowling. Graham Brown in 3rd. Nigel Coates 4th. And we've got a little way back then to number 8, Gary Finlow in 5th. Oh, I think Paul Murphy actually nicked it off him on the line there. So very close on the line for 5th and 6th. We will await confirmation from the lap scorers. And 3 points to number 280, Andy Humphreys. 1 minute 12.42 was the time. 1 minute 12.42 as the tapes go up on race 33. I'm looking for Darren Phillips and for Jason Prynne. They are both heat winners from the first leg, and it's Jason Prynne that leads into the turn. Darren Phillips follows him through the inside. So Jason Prynne, Darren Phillips Paul Knott's in a mix as well here. He made a good start. But Jason Prin looking very, very fast at their front. Darren Phillips has got no answer to him at the moment. These two looked very quick in the first race. Brilliant style from Jason Prin as he comes around that turn. So, at the moment, Jason Prin having it all his own way. Darren Phillips, no answer to him. Paul Knott's holding that third comfortably as well, with Chris Malone in fourth. Another good ride for Chris Malone. He's back from injury, Chris Malone, so we're glad to see him back on the track. He picked up a nasty injury at the British Masters in 2019, but he's back racing again in the upright class now and going very well and putting Paul Knott under an awful lot of pressure for that third place. So at the front, Jason Prin. He comes round the bend for the last time. He looks like he's going to be the one to maintain that maximum leg trailing as he comes round. He takes the win. Darren Phillips, number 35, settles for second. Third place is going to be very close between these two. Just about Paul Knott, number 20, from Chris Malone. Tim Mount, number 17, comes home in fifth. So, brilliant racing in the upright class. Once again, unpredictable racing in the upright class. It's going to be very quick, very difficult to pick a winner. So race 34, the culmination of leg 2, the old and new sidecars, the budget sidecar class. 5 on the line for this one. No Paul Nelson and Lewis Wharton, sadly. But we've got the others, and it's a great start from Liam Brown, who's looking to change gear as he goes past us. Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney lead into the turn, so what's Mark Courtney going to do about this time? He won the first race convincingly, but he now finds himself in second place. So, what can Mark Courtney do in that second place? He looks at Liam Brown to see where his lines are. I'm sure he'll hold back for a while. See whereabouts on the racetrack Liam Brown's going. It's got the added interest here, of course, that Frankie on the back of the leading outfit is Mark's son, so he can't go piling into him on the corners. I don't think that will go down very well. But at the moment, Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney in front, riding a very sensible line. And Mark Courtney will know that. Dylan Newton and Willow Jeffrey at the moment in that third place, holding off Steve Orrell and Julie Williams. But at the front, Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney, they're going to make this 1-1 between themselves and Mark Courtney if they can cling on to this, because the last lap flag is out ready. They've got one more lap to hold on here. Can they hold on for another lap? Mark Courtney's putting them under all sorts of pressure. He's trying round the outside now. He's followed him round. He's now trying to round the outside. He's just not got enough speed off that turn. He'll have another go going into this turn. He's much quicker into the turn. Leon Torres, the passenger, taking evasive action, I think, there. But it's going to be a win for Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney. Mark Courtney and Leon Torres second. Dylan Newton just hangs on to that third place, with Steve Orrell in fourth. At Bantasia one, I think, but at the front, the checker flag's already being made ready. What a quick race this was. It's going to be James Shanes, number 93. He takes the win. Edward Kennett finishes in second. Stephen Green third. Alfie Botel finishes fourth. Fifth place goes to Stuart Mears. Sixth place is Will Thirlby, number 47. Seventh place goes to Harry Dent, number 27. Eighth place, number 99, Aaron Schubert. And Dean Cutler finishes in ninth. Number 57. So Stevie Green, he's only scored 8 points so far. Coupled with that 8, he's only got 16, so it's going to be touch and go whether he makes it into that A final at the end of the day. It really is. But race 36 is already on the line. Stella Dispatch, 500 solos, and away they go. And it's a super start by Jake Mulford, but he's swallowed up by James Wright, who leads into the first turn. James Wright leads into out of the first turn as well, and Charlie Powell's moved Jake Mulford over. So, tough race for Jake Mulford in this race, but he has got himself back up the inside of Charlie Powell as they go in that turn. And now he's let him go a little bit, so that battle seems to have stopped as Charlie Powell chases after James Wright, but James Wright is absolutely flying here. Hasn't been beaten yet this afternoon. The only rider who hasn't been beaten yet this afternoon, James Wright. And Charlie Powell settled into that second place, but doesn't really look like he's going to catch James Wright. The last lap flag goes out. Jake Mulford in that third place, looking steady. Ryan Ashcroft holding fourth at the moment. Good fourth place, that'll be valuable points for Ryan Ashcroft. But really this race is all about James Wright, number 169. The Newcastle Diamonds racer, he takes his third win of the day. Second place goes to Charlie Powell. Third place will be Jake Mulford. Fourth place Ryan Ashcroft. Fifth place is James Peters, and sixth is Aaron Butcher. So 11 points for James Wright, sees him comfortably into the final as top point scorer. Who's going to jump on there? 1,000 sidecars then, race 37, the tapes go up and away they go, and again Stacey Stell's made a good start from the inside, but it's Mark Cosser who leads into the turn, followed by Paul Whitelam. Stacey Stell's in that third place, he screws it up in the middle of the corner for that third, stops everyone behind him, but at the front, Mark Cosser with the mysterious passenger, who we will find out who it is. Whoever it is, they seem to know what they're doing. Paul Whitelam in that second place, Stacey Stell in third, with Joe Sturtridge trying to make up some places in fourth. He's had a very good day so far in that third place. But at the front, Mark Cosser leading comfortably once again. Nobody's had an answer to him so far this afternoon. Joe Sturtridge has now made his way past Stacey Stell for that third, so he continues to build up the points. That third place should be enough to see Joe Sturtridge into the final, but Stacey Stell is really having a go at him in that turn. That's not over yet, that battle, I don't think, because Joe Sturtridge has now gone defensive to try and stay on the inside line and not let Stacey Stell past. Both of these riders are in amongst the points. They're both in with a chance of making that final. They both need to make as many points as they can, so there's a real battle on for that third place. Problems for a passenger coming past us here, but Mark Cosser takes his third win of the afternoon. Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb take second, and Joe Sturtridge looks like he's won that battle for third, with Stacey Stell in fourth. So 3 out of 3 for Mark Cosser. We'll see if we can find out who he's got on the back. Coming to the line, we've got 5 outfits, I believe, 4 outfits this time, because I don't think we're going to see Jordan Williams in gate 4, but we will have Chris Walker and Sam Fumarola on gate 1. We've got Steph Blythe and Alistair Sutherland on gate 2, Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders in gate 3, and Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson got loads of room out on gate 6. So away they go, and it's a brilliant start by Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson. They lead into the first turn, followed by Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders into the turn, but Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson very quick off the start there. They've got plenty of drive coming off that Suzuki machine. Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders then, what can they do? They've been led a lot this afternoon for such a quality crew. To be led so many times in a day is not good. Chris Walker's got into third. Steph Blythe, I think problems for Steph Blythe in that fourth place as he coasts to a halt. But Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson absolutely flying out front, making sure that they're keeping a nice tight inside line. There's no way through up the inside. Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders. So we've got Suzuki versus Honda here in this race, in these very powerful sidecar machines. So round the turn for the last time, Matt Fumarola. We've got one more lap to go, in fact. I thought, seems like we've done more laps. Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson at the moment looking very comfortable. Andy obviously really enjoying his comeback today. Rob Wilson has got a bit closer to him on this last lap. Perhaps they will mount a challenge in this last turn. As they come around that turn though, Matt Fumarola, he's absolutely on the pegs. There's no way through, and he wins race 38. Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson, 7 points to them. 5 points to second place Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders. And a very valuable 4 points to Chris Walker and Sam Fumarola coming third. I can confirm that Gareth Williams was on with Mark Cosser, because I can see him pushing the bike across the track in the middle. So Tom Cosser and Dylan Newton coming out of gate 6. They've been going very, very well so far. In fact, Tom Cosser hasn't been beaten yet. So we've got Tom on 14 points. He's already seen brother Mark fulfill the maximum and get 21. Can Tom match that in this race? The other riders in this race are quite low down in the scoring, so somebody's going to score some very valuable points here, and that could see them into quite a high final. So some good points on offer here for one of these other 3 crews, but Tom will really want to win that race, I think. So away we go, and once again Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh have made an absolute flyer off the start and lead into the first turn. A fantastic start by Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh. So where is Tom Cosser? He's currently third, and he's working his way past Rob Heath, but he's got a lot of work to do here to maintain the maximum, because Simon Beanie currently leads, and Simon will not come off those inside pegs. Tom's going to have to ride round him, and that's exactly what he's trying to do here as he got the back straight. So Tom Cosser leads back into the turn. Simon Beanie tucks into that second place then, with Rob Heath in third. He's very quick off the start today, Simon Beanie. But Tom Cosser and Dylan Newton, they take up the lead, and they look like they are going to win their third race and match brother Mark on that maximum. We're going to have 2 Cossers in that final as top point scorers if it stays like this. Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh are the crew that are picking up those valuable points in that second place. That might see them into the B-final. Last lap flag goes up then for Tom Cosser. Simon Beanie in that second place, looking comfortable, with Rob Heath and Jay Sullivan in third. But Tom Cosser very quickly getting to grips with the new passenger, Dylan Newton. Obviously, he's a very competent passenger. He takes the win. That's 3 out of 3 for Tom Cosser. Second place goes to Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh. Third place will be Andrew and Michelle Minard, which means that Rob Heath and Jay Sullivan must have stopped somewhere on the track. Rhino Goose South Auto Cadets and Cadets coming to the line for race number 40. We're really whipping through it, aren't we? So far, Finley Theobald has been the fastest rider in this. The future stars, of course, of Grasstrack and Speedway. The future stars are born right here at Wadham Farm. And Finley Theobald has been fantastic so far on his little machine. Braden Blythe, I believe, is leading the Auto Cadets class, as far as I'm aware. Because there's 2 classes here, you've got Autos and Cadets. And we've got no Tygon Powell, number 7, in this race, so just the 5 runners. So away we go with this Autos and Cadets, and Finley Theobald has got himself into first, but Braden Blythe has got himself into second this time. So Braden Blythe has got ahead of Archie Whitelam. Archie's got the benefit of a gearbox, I believe, on that machine, although he doesn't look like he's using it at the moment. So when we set out to do Bantasia 1, we were absolutely adamant we wanted the youth racing here. It's where the future stars are made. We are absolutely adamant that we want to continue having youth racing in some form at Grasstrack Banter Promotions in the future. Thankfully, the youth parents have supported us brilliantly. This race is hotting up for second here in front of me, because Braden Blythe and Archie Whitelam are starting to battle for that second place. It's starting to hot up between the 2 of them, and they'll be really enjoying that. I think I just saw Braden with a great big grin in his face as he come past me. He's now been overtaken by Archie Whitelam on the back straight. Last lap then for Finley Theobald. Braden's now been pushed wide, and Archie Whitelam has now taken up that second place. But Braden Blythe definitely really enjoying himself in that third. Of course, Archie Whitelam, well, Whitelam and Blythe, both very sidecar names. Archie Whitelam's dad, Mark Whitelam, used to race passenger sidecars. And Braden Blythe is the son of Carl Blythe, who is a former passenger to Mark Cosser. So lots of sidecar interest, but Theobald wins once again, his third race of the day. Archie Whitelam had to work hard, but he finishes second. Braden Blythe third. And it'll be Albie Collier that comes round for 4th. And it looks like Stashu Stevens took the checker flag as he went past, so he'll be credited with 5th. Over to the juniors, and they've served up some good racing. We always expect that. The Stellar Dispatch juniors are on the line. We've seen Theo Copestake make a brilliant start and lead into the first turn. We've seen Cooper Russian blast around the outside of about 5 or 6 bikes. But so far, Cooper Russian's the man that's done all the winning. Can he make it 3 out of 3 here? There's 4 rides for the children today. So this is the 3rd of 4 rides for them. But I'm sure that Cooper will want to make it absolutely nailed on with a win in this one. Zach Beatty's riding very well this afternoon. He's currently 3rd in the standings. But away they go, and this time it looks like Cooper Russian's made an absolute flying start as he goes into that turn. I don't think he's going to have too many problems this time because he leads into the turn. He's followed by Archie Rolfe up the inside and Dylan Amy's on the outside. So Cooper Russian leads, Rolfe 2nd, Amy's 3rd, Zach Beatty's in that 4th place once again with George Colvin in 5th. Oliver Bovington's in 6th, and Theo Copestake and Caden Mundy are now having a battle for that 7th place as well. So Cooper Russian leads, but I think the battle's going to be for that 3rd place. Can Dylan Amy's hold off Zach Beatty in that 3rd place? He's come right out the inside of him, and past him coming off the turn. So Zach Beatty, who currently lies in 3rd overall, has now pushed his way into 3rd and chases after Archie Rolfe in front of him. So the last lap flag is made ready now for Cooper Russian, who is in sensational form. He comes past Kaya Sales as he comes down this back straight. Zach Beatty's got very close to Archie Rolfe in this 2nd place, and he's going to try and go round him as he's cut up the inside. He's going to try and find a way through. They've got the back marker to deal with as well. Archie seems to have pulled away a little bit. Perhaps he heard him over his shoulder and just gave it a little bit extra, but Cooper Russian takes the win. Archie Rolfe is going to hold on to this 2nd place with Zach Beatty, a valiant effort in 3rd, Dylan Amy's 4th, George Colvin 5th, Oliver Bovington finishes 6th, and Theo Copestake 7th, Caden Mundy 8th, and Kaya Sales finishes 9th place. And we've now got our 3rd youth race, the Impress Promotions intermediate class, 250s CC solos, most of them. Some of them are on different things. And it's a similar story here. Max Perry, 2 out of 2 so far and absolutely dominating the competition. Is the world champion going to take a 3rd one? There's a tape problem. I think one of the front wheels has sat on the tape but as they let it up. So once again, a huge thank to our sponsors, our partners here at Grasstrack Banter Promotions, RJC Autos, quality used car sales. You can see the banner there. Very generous sponsors and partners. JC Pro Racewear, Darty's Inc., the tattooist, and we think about Tony as well, Joe's son today at this meeting. Essex Wheels, Rhino Goose South, Relax to Race, and LLB Baits for all your carp fishing needs. Stellar Dispatch, of course, who've been amazing to us for such a long time. Hagen Shocks, Properly Protected, Sports Insurance, Blades Bikes, Elite Floors, Edge Composites, and the Isle of Wight Speedway 2. And, of course, up on our top corner, SBS Epos, Dirt Hub, Hog Racing, Relax to Race again, there up there, isn't it? TTL Photography. Thank you to all of our really generous partners who have made sure that this meeting can be as good as it possibly can be. And so far, so good as well. Dog's Body Photography, of course, the one I missed there. I keep missing Dog's Body Photography. I'll be lynched for that. So the riders are settled back down for this Impress Promotions intermediate race. Will anyone stop Max Perry? Away they go. It's a great start by Kenzie Cossey, I think, as they go away. Somebody's left on the line there for some reason, and they have gone into this corner quite gingerly, but it is Kenzie Cossey who leads. I'm looking for Max Perry. He's diving around the outside as they come around that turn. He's already made his way up into 2nd, and now he chases after Kenzie Cossey. So Max Perry throws it into their turn sideways. He's going to be a great rider to watch in the next few years, isn't he? He passes Kenzie Cossey down the back straight, and now he leads. Throws it sideways in the turn, drives it sideways out the corner. Brilliant style from Max Perry. So further back, we've got Charlie Wood taking it easy this time. He's being chased though by Max Derrick, and Max Derrick won't let him go easily. He'll want to come past him as quickly as he possibly can and chase after the others. So Max Perry takes the last lap flag. He's starting to catch up with some of the back markers now. He goes past the first back marker there, Jack Rogers, and chases after the next one. Just look at this. Absolutely talent on a motorbike. As he comes around and takes a checkered flag, Max Perry wins the third one of the afternoon. Second place, a brilliant ride once again for Kenzie Cosser, number 22. Third place goes to Austin Riches. Jack Rogers is a lap down, I believe, so we'll wait for fourth place. It'll be Charlie Wood for fourth place. He holds off Max Derrick, who finishes fifth. Harley Driscoll Freeman will be sixth. Harrison Rogers back there in seventh, and Jack Baker will be eighth. So for the third time this afternoon, 11 points if you're filling your programmes in at home. 11 points next to number 5, Max Perry. Doesn't seem to matter which gate he comes out of, although he was very slow off the start that time and he had to work his way through, but it gave us something definitely to watch. He's so spectacular on the outside. Yeah, he's not far off Max Perry, is he? And that was with a slow start as well. He's very, very quick. So, what have we got now? GT140s, the Dirt Hub GT140s. And they're away, and it's Adam Shipp who leads. He's won both the races so far. He's the only rider on a maximum, number 16, Adam Shipp. He leads at the moment into turn. He's followed by Chris Mackett with Lewis Denham in third. So, Shippy, 2 times British 250 champion. Nobody looks like stopping at the moment. Lewis Denham's chased Chris Mackett into that turn, so the fight's on for second. Lewis Denham's forced his way up the inside and he's passed Chris Mackett coming around that pit turn. So Lewis Denham, can he do anything about, look at this, Adam Shipp versus Lewis Denham. It's worth the entry fee alone. So Adam Shipp at the moment, Lewis Denham's got no answer to him, but Chris Mackett's actually giving Lewis Denham a little bit to think about. Mark Chessel, who was very quick earlier on, he's back in fourth at the moment, with Glyn Stanton in fifth. So last lap flag, Adam Shipp, he's torn away from the rest of the opposition. He's been very, very quick this afternoon. I think he was the man that all the other GT140s were worried about. They knew how fast Shippy was. So round the bend for the final time. It's going to be a win for Adam Shipp. 3 out of 3 for him. Second place goes to Lewis Denham. Third place to Chris Mackett. And Mark Chessel comes home fourth this time with Glyn Stanton in fifth. Morgan Alexander in sixth. Christopher Orris will be seventh, and Johnny Burnham finishes eighth. And we go for our second race, second heat of Dirt Hub GT140s. And away they go, and it's Lester Denham with a flying start again, but he's hounded by Paul Smith down that back straight, and Kevin Bundock's getting involved this time as he dives up the inside too. So Lester Denham leads, Paul Smith on the inside. He's trying to tuck up the inside as they come out of that turn. Has he got enough to race him into this turn? Lester Denham still leads. He's making him work for it. He's made him go round the outside, but Paul Smith gets round him, and Lester Denham now has to fend off Kevin Bundock for that second place, with Steve Newsham in that fourth. So this could get interesting for this second, third and fourth, because Bundock's now going round the outside of Lester Denham, and what he's done, he's opened up a big hole and Steve Newsham comes up the inside. You can see exactly what's going to happen. He opened up an enormous hole for Steve Newsham to go up the inside of, and Steve Newsham said thank you very much and dived up the inside. So number 777 is Steve Newsham. He's chasing down Paul Smith, and he now takes over the lead. So Paul Smith completely overshooting that top corner and allowing Steve Newsham through. So last lap, we've got 3 laps, and how many winners have we had? Leaders have we had? We've had 3 leaders, I think. At the moment, Steve Newsham seems to have it all his own way, but you never know in this GT140 class. They seem to have settled themselves down now as they come round this bend for the last time. It's going to be a great win for number 777, Steve Newsham. Paul Smith just about hangs on to second. Kevin Bundock third. Lester Denham finishes fourth. Jordan Cross fifth. Mark Scope sixth. Ronnie Stewart seventh, and Freddie Wood and Obed Cooper. 5 points to 21 Mark Scopes, 4 points to 140 Ron Stewart, 3 points to 75 Freddie Wood, and 2 points to 574 Obed Cooper. And we turn our attention to race 45, the 250cc solos. And Tim Grigg in this one in gate 5 is probably the one to look for. Graham Thomas in gate 8 as well has been going very, very well. Chris Steele, number 76, also a very quick rider. So we've got a few riders in here who could do with the points, but at the moment it's Chris Steele, it's Graham Thomas who leads into the turn. Chris Steele was up the inside of him and Tim Griggs into that third. Who's that coming around the outside though? That is someone looking very fast. That's Kai Ward, of course. Kai Ward, who gave Tim Griggs so much trouble in that last heat. He's gone round the outside of Grigg, he's gone round the outside of Chris Steele. Brilliant ride by Kai Ward, although he's caught by Chris Steele going back into that turn. You can see once again the difference between these two types of machine. But Graham Thomas on that two-stroke. 2 times British Grasstrack champion, Graham Thomas at the front. Looking very, very good at the moment. Kai Ward, he's going wide on the turns and it's letting Chris Steele come back up the inside of him. He needs to try and get in a bit tighter because he cannot afford to keep going wide because Chris Steele will just keep nipping up the inside of him. 1 more lap to go then for Graham Thomas. Tim Griggs now got up the inside of Kai Ward. He could see that Kai Ward was leaving those holes up the inside. And now he's trying to get up the inside of him. So last bend, Tim Griggs dived up the inside for that third place. Graham Thomas, I think, is going to cling on to this first place. It's getting very close on the line. Wow, very close on the line. Chris Steele was definitely second, but I couldn't split third and fourth. 5th place is going to be close as well because, Phil Thomas and Danny Curl absolutely neck and neck as they come past us. Races right through the field in this 250 class. No doubt about the winner though. Number 314, Graham Thomas, he picks up the all-important 11 points. Make the points interesting in the 250s. They're also trying to get into a final, so they're looking for a top 10, but of course the better score they get, the better gate position they can take for the final. And nobody's really dominated this so far. We've got Luke Harris out of gate 1 and Cameron Taylor out of gate 3 this time, who have looked very quick, but Cameron of course won the last heat and beat Luke Harris. So they've all been beating each other. It's a really open class at the moment, this 250s, as the tapes go up. And Cameron Taylor's made an absolute flyer again, and so too has Luke Harris. Luke Harris leads into the turn. Cameron Taylor follows him in second. So Luke Harris, he'll get himself in front and he'll want to really establish himself in the lead this time. Adam Hawker's just come up the inside of several riders there to take up third. Good to see Adam Hawker riding well on his return from Australia, where he lived for a couple of years. He's got himself into third now, but at the front, Luke Harris, number 26, Dudley Heathen Speedway rider. Cameron Taylor, number 101, in that second place. Adam Hawker's established himself in that third now. He's got away from this pack. Lee Bassett, Gary Cook, Jordan, Derrick and Carl Bedingfield all tripping over each other for the minor places. For 4th place is what it is really. Lee Bassett seems to have broken free a little bit now, and he's now actually right on the back of Adam Hawker, so it's getting really close between the last few riders. Meanwhile though, at the front, just overtaking a back marker, Luke Harris squeezes it sideways as he goes into that turn. He takes a checker flag, his second win this afternoon. Great ride by Cameron Taylor, he takes second. 3rd place will go to Adam Hawker, number 50. It's going to be close on the line here. I think Jordan Derrick just about nipped it from Lee Bassett, with Gary Cook and Carl Bedingfield not too far away either. Close racing in the 250 solos. 7 points to him, 6 points to number 3, 5 points to number 6, 4 points to 73 and 3 points to 42, and a winner's time of 1 minute 12.95. And the tapes go up on this 350 race, sponsored by Blade Spikes, and Wayne Broadhurst has made an absolute flyer and he leads into the turn. He's almost got it sideways in the turn though. Jamie Fenn-Smith though flies around the outside. He's going to chase after Wayne Broadhurst. I think in that second ride Jamie gave him a little bit too much time up the front, and he's chasing him down now. So Wayne Broadhurst, can he hold off the assault from Jamie Fenn-Smith in that second place? Look how fast Fenn-Smith is into the turn. He's very, very quick on the outside line. There is a line developing up on that corner at the moment. I've been spotting it. A few of the riders are going wide in that turn, and it does seem very, very quick. And Jamie Fenn-Smith is using that at the moment to his advantage because he is hunting down Wayne Broadhurst. There's no doubt about that as they go into this turn. He's much, much quicker on the exit of the turn. Wayne Broadhurst has seen him there though. He's going to have to try and keep him out there as best he can. He's got up the inside of him, he's got up the outside of him as well. Very close as they come out of that turn. He's just about kept him at bay. So Wayne Broadhurst, he knows where Jamie Fenn-Smith is. He knows where the assault's going to come from. But can he do anything about it as they run to the line? No, he can't. It's a win for Jamie Fenn-Smith. Very good ride by Jamie Fenn-Smith. He had to work hard for that one. Wayne Broadhurst, he knew exactly where Jamie Fenn-Smith was, but there was nothing he could do about him. He was so fast on the outside. So 11 points to Jamie Fenn-Smith, number 32. And 9 points to number 158, Wayne Broadhurst. James Hartley managed to beat Josh Goodwin in the last heat. So James Hartley's currently on 5 points and Josh has dropped points behind him. So he's on 9 points, whereas Mitchell will be on 14. So looking good at the moment, but it's very, very close between 4 of these crews, really. We're one bike short here actually, and somebody's lifted violently on the start. I think that was Rich Wenham there, who's lifted up quite violently on the start line. Looks like Rich is up. Not sure if it'll be red flag. The yellow flags are out at the moment. They are carrying on, so problems for Rich Wenham on that start line, but Mitch Godden and Paul Smith are back in front once again in this race 48. James Hartley and Shane Minahane are in that second place, and Josh Goodwin once again in third. So we've got no Sean Hughes and Lewis Bennett in this one. Not sure what's happened to the youngsters. So Mitch Godden and Paul Smith look very, very fast around here, but I'm keen to see what Josh Goodwin can do about James Hartley. He's come into the corner very, very quick there. The last lap flagged out. He's only got one more lap to try and get past him if he's going to. James Hartley's riding a very sensible line, right on the pegs, right on the inside of the circuit. So into this final turn, can Josh Goodwin do anything? He's gone flying into that turn, he's gone for a wide line. Mitch Godden does take the win, but James Hartley's going to hold on to that second. Josh Goodwin and Liam Brown finish third, and Rachel Cox and Scott Guttridge will claim the 4th place finish and 3 points. So race 49 now, upright solos leg 3, and they are racing for a place in the final. So we'll have a B final and A final for the uprights. SBS EPOS upright solos, so they're trying to get into the top 10 this afternoon. And Jason Prynne comes out of gate 2, and he's yet to be beaten in this class. Darren Phillips out of gate 3 pushed him hard in the last race. Bob Dolman out of gate 4 as well, who won his last race. And obviously is a very, very good upright grass track rider. Hugely experienced, Bob Dolman. Tim Kernock out of gate 6. He had problems earlier on, Tim Kernock, so I'm hoping that he's got them fixed and he's back on the line. He's had a difficult day today. He's a very fast rider, Tim Kernock, but he's had a very tough time of it. Graham Brown is in gate 10. He's a very quick rider too. He's been up the pointy end the whole day. So lots to unpick here in race 49. SBS EPOS upright solos. So away we go, and I think this start's going to be very important because Bob Dolman's made the start, but he's followed closely by Darren Phillips as they go into that turn. I'm looking for Jason Prynne. He's in third at the moment. The bikes leap in the air as they leave, and Jason Prynne's done a brilliant turn and come up the inside of both of them. Fabulous turn by Jason Prynne. He come up the inside of Darren Phillips and Bob Dolman in that first turn, and he now leads Darren Phillips down the back straight. Bob Dolman's in that third place, and he'll want to get past Darren Phillips because he dropped points earlier on, of course, and he'll want to get back into that second place. But at the moment, Darren Phillips is looking really quick in that second place. Tim Kernock and Graham Brown are tussling over 4th as well, and Max Pankhurst has actually got up the inside of Tim Kernock now, so more problems there for Tim Kernock. So the last lap flag is already made ready, and Jason Prynne is the man to take it because he is absolutely flying out front at the moment. It looked like he'd have a little bit more to think about in this one, but he just carved up the inside and went past the pair of them. Who is going to stop Jason Prynne this afternoon? He comes round this final corner. He takes the checker flag. 25, Jason Prynne takes the 11 points. Darren Phillips is second. Bob Dorman third. Graham Brown just holds on to fourth, ahead of Tim Kernock and Max Pankhurst. Tim Kernock, number 726, 5 points for 28, Max Pankhurst, 4 for number 17, 3 for number 13, 2 for number 84, and 1 point for number 5. And we're already off with the next upright race, race 50. And into the turn they all go, and Nigel Coates is on the inside, I can see, but it's number 20, Paul Knott, that's got himself to the front. Mike Dowling has got himself into second place, and Chris Malone now is in third, so not a good first corner for Nigel Coates. He's let a few go past him, but Paul Knott at the front. Didn't take long for him to get back into winning ways, did it? He's at the front coming around this turn. Chris Malone's trying to go round him. Mike Dowling's come round him. In fact, it's not Chris Malone. So Mike Dowling gets into the lead. He's got himself in the corner nice and tight. He's blocked Paul Knott trying to challenge him. I thought for a minute Mike Dowling was going to drop it. I started to stutter because I was a bit worried as I said his name. But he sorted himself out. He's a very experienced rider. He knows what he's doing. Paul Knott doesn't have any answer to him in that second place. In fact, Chris Malone's looking a little bit like he's going to get on terms with Paul Knott in that third. So Chris Malone riding very well on his return from injury. So this time round will be the checker flag, and it's going to be a win for number 282, Mike Dowling. Chris Malone does pick up that second place. Paul Knott in third. Nigel Coates nearly nipped him, but he took fourth. Eric Pike fifth. Gary Finlow sixth. And there's another chase to the line for seventh and eighth. Andy Humphreys gets the seventh, and Giles Dismore finishes in eighth. 1 minute 13.57 is the time. The last time for the uprights was 1 minute 09.67. That was Jason Prynne's time, 1 minute 09.67. Right, race 51. This is the last of the third leg rides for everybody. It's the old and new sidecars. We're one each at the moment between Mark Courtney and Liam Brown. And Mark Courtney's made the start, so Liam Brown's got the work to do. But Dylan Newton's also in amongst it as well. But into the turn they go, and it's Mark Courtney and Leon Torres who lead. So they lead this time. Liam Brown's come up the inside of him, though. He's got a really good run on him down this back straight. Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney go past Mark Courtney into this turn. I think there was a bit of rubbing as they went in there as well. So what can Mark Courtney do now then? Because he has dominated this class for several years now, but Liam Brown seems to have come on terms with him. What a rivalry this is turning into right in front of us here. So Liam Brown, Frankie Courtney into the turn. Mark Courtney's having to ride round him. He's got nowhere else to go. There's no room on that inside at all. Got absolutely no choice. There's a battle raging for third as well as they go into that turn, and they've come together, the outfits, for third and fourth. Brian Hatch and Lou Wharton riding up the inside of Dylan Newton. Certainly look quicker this time. So at the front, Mark Courtney once again, he's trying to find a way round Liam Brown. There really is no way round at the moment. He's found up the inside and Liam's let him through. He's come through. Brilliant move by Mark Courtney. He saw Liam Brown just slip wide and he was up the inside of him. So it seems to be a problem for Liam Brown as he goes to this turn. He looks a little bit uncomfortable on the machine. But Mark Courtney and Leon Torres take the win. Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney second. Very close between these third and fourth place riders. Dylan Newton finishing third eventually, with Brian Hatch in fourth. They're the only class that, or the only ones that are riding for anything really. They've got some lovely trophies that James Shane's actually donated to us for the youth riders. So the youth riders will get some trophies and medals for the 1, 2, 3 as well. They've all got medals in fact. But they will get trophies. Everybody else is here purely because they want to race their motorbikes, which I think is fantastic when you give them the lineup that we've got here today. The fact that people want to come and support Grasstrack, British Grasstrack, so much. We've been absolutely blown away by all the support from the riders, and we've tried our best to give them a circuit that they can enjoy racing on. And feedback's been good so far, so hopefully we've done our job there. So the tapes go up on this Autos and Cadets final race. I'm sure they've enjoyed their day. Braden Blythe's made an absolute flyer there off the gate, but Finley Theobald quickly takes over going into that turn. So it is Finley Theobald, number 16, who leads Braden Blythe, number 37. Archie Whitelam, number 92, is in third. So keep an eye on him because he's been working his way up through the pack as the day goes on. So this time I think Braden Blythe quite a long way away from Archie Whitelam in that third place, so I think he's going to be home and dry for that second this time. Obviously really enjoying himself. They've all seemed to be enjoying themselves, these lads. Enjoyed their day racing. I'm sure it's been a long time waiting for them. Last lap flag then for Finley Theobald. He's done all the winning in this class today, and this will be his 4th win of the afternoon. So as Stashu Stevens just comes past, Finley Theobald takes the win, and 11 points for number 16 once again, confirming him as the winner of the cadet class. Braden Blythe, 9 points to number 37 Braden Blythe. And a little way back we've got Archie Whitelam, 8 points will go to him, number 92. And 7 points to number 17 Albie Collier. And 6 points to Stashu Stevens, who comes around to finish. Big well done to these boys for today. Some of them in their very first grass track. So Kaya comes up to the line to take her place on the start line in this Stella Despatch junior race, the final race for all this class today. Who can stop Cooper Russian? So away they go, and it is actually Zach Beatty that makes a good start. He's closely followed by Cooper Russian as they go into that first turn, and it's Cooper Russian, I believe, who leads. In fact, it's Dylan Amies who's taken over the lead, so it's Dylan Amies who gets himself in front. Great first corner by Dylan Amies. He leads, Zach Beatty's in that second, Cooper Russian's in third. So what's he going to do here? He's got one on the outside and one on the inside to try and contend with. He's gone even wider. He's trying to ride around the outside of Dylan Amies, and he does so. So Cooper Russian back in front once again. Given something to think about for a lap there, but he soon sorted himself out, and he now leads with Dylan Amies in second and Zach Beatty third. Archie Rolfe is back in fifth at the moment, so currently lying second in the standings. Archie Rolfe is dropping quite a few points if it stays like this. The rider in fifth, he's going to have to work very hard. Zach Beatty's coming around the outside of Dylan Amies on that back straight to take over that second, but Amies pushes him wider than he wants to go. He's been riding some very good tight lines, Zach Beatty, but now he's being forced around the outside of Dylan Amies to try and get himself into that second, and he's now got into second place. So a good ride by Zach Beatty once again. George Colvin in fourth has now caught up to Dylan Amies too. So that race has now become a race for third as the checker flag is made ready for Cooper Russian. They're still fighting it out for that third place. It's going to be first to Cooper Russian, second to Zach Beatty, and Archie Rolfe with a brilliant last bend takes third. A fabulous last turn by Archie Rolfe to take the third place. Fabulous riding by the juniors. We really are looking forward to this class in 2021. Everywhere they go, they seem to be riding well. Nobody had an answer for Cooper Russian this afternoon, but brilliant racing in the lower parts of the race. Second place to Zach Beatty there, so he gets the 9 points, which I think will give him third overall. And Archie Rolfe, 8 points, which will give him second overall. Brilliant racing by these lads today. So the results of race number 53, the junior solos. 63 Cooper Russian, 11 points, leaving him on 44. 9 points to second place Zach Beatty, number 48. We've got now Finley Theobald and Cooper Russian. So well done. Intermediates next, and they're already on the line, and Max Perry really has dominated this one as well. He's been very, very quick. Custom clothing by Impress Promotions, intermediate solos, and Max Perry already leads into that first turn. He's been given this lovely wide line around this corner. He's got a lovely sweeping turn as he comes around here. Max Perry leads then. Kenzie Cosser in second, as he has been all day. And Austin Riches in third, as he has been all day. So, lots of battling going on further back between 4 or 5 riders. And it looks like Harley Driscoll Freeman's got the better of that little pack in there for 4th at the moment, with Charlie Wood going round the outside of Harrison Rogers. But Max Perry leading the way. He looks really stylish on this 250 machine. He's getting out into that loose. There is a little bit of loose built up on the outside, and Max is riding into it, getting as much grip as he can. Max Derrick has pulled up over on the back there. That's a shame to see. Not sure what's happened to Max. He's been going well all afternoon, but things seem to have gone wrong for him in this last one. So then, the last time round, Max Perry, world champion, and now he's going to be Bantasia champion as well. He comes around this last corner, he's shut right off, he's slowed right up. Max Perry, number 5, he takes the win, and another 11 points. Second place to Kenzie Cosser, number 22. Third place to Austin Riches, number 46. Still battling for 4th at the moment. It looks like it's being won by Harrison Rogers. He looks like he's going to come home for 4th. He does indeed. Charlie Wood 5th and Harley Driscoll Freeman 6th. Jack Baker 7th. Oliver Rogers is in 8th. There's a couple still out there, I think. Jack Rogers was out there somewhere too. So, great racing by the Inters. Second place overall for Kenzie Cosser, number 22. Third place overall for Austin Riches. But our winner, Bantasia champion for 2021, Max Perry, winner of the intermediates. And we've got race 55, the Rhino Goose South C-final for these sidecars. We've only got 2 left running here. We've got Steph Blythe and Alistair Sutherland, and Anthony Sales and Michael Topman. Both of these lads have suffered mechanical gremlins today, and Anthony's really didn't even come out for his last race. He's got such a problem, he told us earlier, but he thinks he's got it sorted. He's going to have a go in this C-final. We've only got the 2 of them, but they do get their 4th ride. I think we thought it was very important, but they're going to go for it anyway, look. So they've gone off the line together, and it's Steph Blythe and Alistair Sutherland who leads into the turn. And Anthony Sales gives chase. So what could happen here then? Steph Blythe and Alistair Sutherland from Leicester, up in the East Midlands Centre, leading the way at the moment. And Anthony Sales still doesn't look happy with things on that machine. He's pulled up actually. Still not happy with that machine, but nothing seems to be wrong with Steph Blythe and Alistair Sutherland. They're getting a little bit of a training here, getting their 4th ride in. And they will take the C-final here comfortably, as Anthony Sales has now pulled off. So, yeah, Steph Blythe and Alistair Sutherland just doing their obligatory 4 laps. Let's hope Anthony Sales can sort those problems out, because he's been a very quick rider in the last couple of years. So as Steph and Alistair come round to take the checker flag on this C-final, the only surviving machine, we look to the next race, which is race 56, and that is the B-final for the GT140s, the Dirt Hub GT140s. And so we've got Ron Stewart coming to the line. I've not actually got the list with me here who's in this one, so I'll have to try and work it out as we come out. I can see that Johnny Vernon's over there too. I'm sure as they come around, but basically it's the survivors really. I can see that Trevor Stewart had his kit off just a second ago. He wasn't going out in this B final. There's a couple of others that haven't. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the line for this one by the looks of it. And away they go. So who have we got in the lead? Johnny Vernon's made a very good start, and he's in the middle of the pack at the moment. So into this turn they go, and I think it's Freddie Wood, up on the inside, who's having a good ride here. So Freddie Wood was the leader, but he's just been overtaken now by Mark Scopes, number 21. So it's Mark Scopes that takes up the lead. Ron Stewart's gone up the inside of Freddie Wood. He's almost got up the inside of Scopes as well. A brilliant corner there for Ron Stewart. But it's Mark Scopes in the lead. Ronnie Stewart second. And Stewart's gone up the inside of Mark Scopes in here. He's going to force him wide. Gets the thing turned and he's out up the straight in front. So Ron Stewart takes over the lead. And now I can see Morgan Alexander's now making up places. He's joined in the front few. He's now in that third, that number 13 rider. He looks very quick, Morgan Alexander, and he's chasing down second place Mark Scopes. So still lots of racing to do here. We've got one more lap to go. So Ronnie Stewart, can he hold on to this lead? He looks like he's pulling away from Mark Scopes at the moment. Scopes going to have eyes in the back of his head because he's got Morgan Alexander all over his exhaust pipe behind him. Freddie Wood's dropped off a little bit in fourth now, but here goes Morgan Alexander up the inside. He's quick down that back straight. He has made Mark Scopes go a little bit wider than perhaps he wanted to. Can he find a gap up the inside? He can. It's very close as they come out of that turn. Ronnie Stewart takes the win. Morgan Alexander dived up the inside to take second, and Mark Scopes third. A fantastic end to a brilliant B-final for the GT140s. Fabulous racing by these riders in this B-final. That's only the B-final. And now we have the B-final for the 250 solos. And we have got number 247, Jordan Derrick. Number 6, Gary Cook. Number 110, Danny Curl. Number 34, Ben Phillips. Number 40, Jake Breeze. Number 27, Vinnie Smith. Number 11, Phil Kinman. 42, Stuart Milton. Number 60, Aidan Arthur. And number 44, Paul Watts. I don't think we've got all of them here, but that's who we should have. Looks like we've got our 7th rider coming to the line, so we're going with 7 in this B-final. And away we go, and Jordan Derrick's made an absolute flyer. He's followed by Ben Phillips, but it is Jordan Derrick who leads, but Ben Phillips takes over going into the first turn. So it is number 34, Ben Phillips, who leads. Jordan Derrick trying to come up the inside, but he's not quite quick enough. Vinnie Smith's in that third at the moment, but he's being overtaken by Gary Cook as they go into this turn. But at the front it is Ben Phillips, followed by Jordan Derrick. At the moment, there's a fight going on for that 4th place between Vinnie Smith and Danny Curl. So Ben Phillips looking good in this one. Turn his attention to 250 solo racing now. He's only going to get quicker from here, but he's allowed Jordan Derrick to come right up behind him in that turn. And Danny Curl's riding well in that 4th place. He's just turned up, just gone past Gary Cook for 3rd as well. So Danny Curl in that 3rd place riding well. But at the front, Ben Phillips, followed by Jordan Derrick. Danny Curl in that 3rd place. Last lap flag. That Ben Phillips is looking tired. I think Jordan Derrick's catching up with him. I think he's seen that he's looking tired. There's a lot of leg trailing going on from the leader at the moment as he comes around this last corner. Is he going to be able to hold on for one more corner and hold off Jordan Derrick? I think he's going to be alright because he comes across the line. Checker flag for 34. Ben Phillips. Jordan Derrick second. Danny Curl with a hard-fought 3rd place there. And Gary Cook in 4th. The Blades Bikes 350 solos. Did some great racing in this class. Jamie Fenn-Smith has been absolutely fabulous in this class. Wayne Broadhurst, of course, has been giving him something to think about as well. Really has been between those two. Not too many left now. Got some big races coming up, but at the moment we've got the 350 solos on the line, and Wayne Broadhurst has made an absolute flyer from the inside. He leads into the turn, so it's going to be about whether or not Jamie Fenn-Smith can do what he did in the last race, work his way around that outside and get past him. Mike Peters is in that 3rd, but I'm really going to keep my eyes on this front too, I think, because Wayne Broadhurst just ran a little bit wide into that loose. He's picked up something on his foot there. I wasn't sure if it was his steel shoe or not. I think he might have lost. George Pardo stopped in front of us here, but Wayne Broadhurst forcing Jamie Fenn-Smith to ride wider and wider. But he's got to try and keep him out there, hasn't he? He's got to try and keep him out there, and Jamie Fenn-Smith's got up the inside. He saw a gap and he bravely went up the inside, but Wayne Broadhurst shut the door on him as they come out the turn. The last lap flag is being made ready. You can see two very different styles here. Wayne Broadhurst much slower into the turn, but Jamie Fenn-Smith, he's very, very quick. He goes inside and outside. He doesn't know which way to go. Wayne's riding right in the middle of the track. A brilliant move. brilliant corner by Wayne Broadhurst. He stuck himself right in the centre of the track. Jamie Fenn-Smith's got one more corner left. Can he get himself round there? He can. He's got the win. 32, Jamie Fenn-Smith. Shouts with joy as he goes over the line. He obviously enjoyed himself in that one. Jamie Fenn-Smith takes the win. Right on the last corner, just like he did in the third ride. Brilliant racing from the 350s. And Jamie Fenn-Smith, I believe, is our Blade Spikes 350cc Bantasia champion. The upright solo B-final already making its way to the start. Liam Ashcroft. And we go back to the SBS EPOS upright solos for this B-final. And we've seen some really interesting B-finals so far, and I think this one will be no different as the tapes go up. Somebody's looped it on the line. I think that was Andy Humphreys that looped it on the line there, so hopefully he's all right. They do hurt a little bit when you dump them on the ground like that, but the other riders are being told to stop. So I can see, I think that's Bob Dorman that's over there for some reason. I don't really know what he's doing over on the start. He's obviously looking at something. He's walking away now, but they look like they're ready for this B-final in the upright class, so let's see how we go. I would imagine that Tim Kernock's going to be there or thereabouts, given the fact that he ought to be in the final, really, but a torrid day. It is Tim Kernock that leads into the first turn. So I think this race might be all about the second, to be honest, unless Tim has problems once again. Tim Mount's got himself into that second place. Gary Finlow in third and Paul Morphy currently in fourth. So, as predicted, Tim Kernock at the front, but it's Tim Mount that holds that second place comfortably at the moment as well. Gary Finlow in that third, and going around the outside of him is Paul Morphy. So, number 726, Tim Kernock. He's been doing lots of laps on the speedway in the winter, so he's probably race fit, or as race fit as he's going to get. There's a bit of a battle going on at the back here, because at the moment Gary Finlow is having to hold on tight ahead of Paul Morphy. Paul Morphy's much quicker in a straight line than Gary Finlow, but he can't seem to find a way past him in that third place. Gary Finlow now's dived up the inside, but you can see here Morphy's a lot quicker down the straight. Seems to catch up with him. In fact, I can hear Gary Finlow's machine does not sound good at all, so he's really struggling on the straights. But Paul Morphy can't quite get past him. Again, Paul Morphy comes past him on the straight. Tim Kernock takes the win. Tim Mount is going to come home in second, and this battle for third is still raging because Gordon Walker's now got involved as well. It's very close. All four of them came over together. I have no idea who came third there. Absolutely brilliant between the four of them there. They were all together as they come over the line, and I think that was all caused by one of the bikes going sick halfway through the race. I think Gary Finlow was nursing the machine home, and he was much quicker in the corners. So the old and new sidecars coming to the line for their final race, race number 60, leg 4, and at the moment it's on a knife edge between Mark Courtney, who comes off gate 6, and Liam Brown, who comes off gate 4, and it is those two who emerge off the gate. And Mark Courtney and Leon Torres come across Liam Brown. Are they going to give him any space in that turn? I doubt it, because they are both together in that turn. It's Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney who nose ahead coming down that back straight. So the race is on here, because Mark Courtney and Leon Torres have got to try and get past Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney to get this win. So Liam Brown on the inside. Mark Courtney's got to try and find a way past. Dylan Newton in that third place once more, but at the moment Liam Brown, he doesn't seem to have any problems keeping in front of Mark Courtney. He's definitely a bit slower into the turns, but Mark Courtney's running wide and he can't seem to get the bike across the front of Liam Brown enough to get in front of him. So 2 laps of this late race left, and Mark Courtney has got to do something here, because Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney at the moment are in firm control, and this will give them the win. This time Mark Courtney's gone inside. He's changed tactics this time. Last lap flag, so Mark Courtney, he's tried the outside, it's not worked. He's gone onto the inside. He's gone back to the outside again. This is brilliant racing between these two. Mark Courtney now is going round the outside. Liam Brown's seen him. He's tried to block him. Into this final turn then. Who's it going to be? Mark Courtney's gone in very fast. He's got in front of Liam Brown as they come around that turn. A brilliant last turn by Mark Courtney. They take the win. Fabulous racing in the old and new sidecar class, and a brilliant win for Mark Courtney and Leon Torres. Right on the last corner. Liam Brown and Frankie Courtney in second, and Dylan Newton in third. What a race in the old and new. Aaron Schubert comes to the line. Thomas Rowlett I can see over there too. Chad Wurtzfeld's coming to the line. So these B-finals are there so that all the riders can get 4 rides today. So a bit of movement on the start, but we are away, and it's Ryan Ashcroft who leads down that back straight. He is the top scorer in this final. Chad Wurtzfeld follows him in. So Ryan Ashcroft, he's gone very wide there, and he's allowed Chad Wurtzfeld right at the inside of him. And if he's not careful, James Peters as well. But Chad Wurtzfeld leads. Ryan Ashcroft in that second place. Stuart Mears in third. And Ryan Ashcroft's run wide once again, and Stuart Mears now takes up that second place. So Chad Wurtzfeld, another one of these young teenagers that are absolutely flying at the moment in the world of grass track. He's got himself out in front, and he stops as he goes past us. Big problems for Chad Wurtzfeld as he comes past us. What a shame for the young lad. Something seriously went wrong with that machine as he come past us, and he ground to a halt. Did really well to hold on to it. But that means that Stuart Mears is now at the front. So Stuart Mears inherits the lead. Ryan Ashcroft and James Peters are still squabbling away for the second place in this B-final. Ryan Ashcroft at the moment has just got his nose in front. But the checker flag's made ready, and it's going to be a win in this B-final for Stuart Mears, number 41. Second place does go to Ryan Ashcroft in the end. James Peters third. There's a squabble for fourth. It's between Aaron Schubert and Thomas Rowlett. Thomas Rowlett takes fourth, Schubert fifth, and James Laker finishes in sixth. So, drama in the B-final. Chad Wurtzfeld did brilliantly to hold on to the machine. He looked like he had it all won. So the results of the B-final: 41 Stuart Mears takes the win. Second place in the B-final, 461 Ryan Ashcroft. Third place, number 45 James Peters. Fourth place, number 114 Thomas Rowlett. On the outside, Andrew and Michelle Minard as well. Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh, they're in gate 2. Had some very fast starts. And Chris Walker, seems like we've just got the 4 in this one. Neither of the Heaths have made it. There's a tape infringement. It looks like Stacey Stale's gone through the tapes there. So away they go. Then Simon Beanie lifts it in the air as he leaves the line, but Andrew and Michelle Minard lead going down that straight. So it's the husband and wife team that lead going into that turn, followed by Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh, with in third place Chris Walker and Sam Fumarola. So Andrew and Michelle Minard, they'll pin themselves to that inside, I'm sure, and try and stop any move that Simon Beanie might try and make up the inside. Into the turn they go. They've been steadily improving this crew, but they've got to try and hold Simon Beanie off, and Simon's found a gap and he's up the inside. He's passed. Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh lead going into this pit corner once more. Andrew and Michelle Minard, they just left a little gap. They left enough room for Simon to come through, and now they lead this B-final. So the last lap flag is made ready for Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh as they go down the back straight and into this pit corner. Andrew and Michelle Minard in that second place. Got no answer to them. One more lap to go. So up the back straight for the final time and into this corner. Simon Beanie and Carl Pugh, they take the B-final. They win this one. Andrew and Michelle Minard, a great ride from them. They finish in second. Chris Walker and Sam Fumarola come home in third. And next time we see the right-hand sidecars, it will be in the A final. And I can confirm some of the winners. So Archie Whitelam in the Auto Cadets is the overall winner of Bantasia 1 in the Auto Cadets. I've just been handed all of the youth results. And Finley Theobald was the only cadet, but he was doing all the winning. So Finley Theobald is the cadet champion, and Archie Whitelam is the Auto Cadet champion. As the way we go with this 500 cycle race, and James Hartley's made a flyer, but it's Mitch Godden and Paul Smith once again that lead into the first turn. James Hartley and Shane Minahane try to tuck up the inside. They're very quick off the exit of this turn, but Mitch Godden's just about got enough. Rachel Cox has got herself into third here, and Sean Hughes and Lewis Bennett, after problems at the start, are now in fourth, but at the front it's Mitch Godden and Paul Smith. They'll have to think about James Hartley because he is quick on the inside, but Mitch Godden's quicker. So Mitch Godden and Paul Smith, they've been flawless this afternoon. They've won all three of the races so far. They're about to head into the last lap of race number 4, and they're way out in front again, absolutely flying. Yet to be crowned a British champion, of course. Mitch Godden needs so love to win that British championship, I'm sure. So into the bend for the last time. Mitchell Godden and Paul Smith, a fabulous day's racing from them. They take the 500cc sidecar class this afternoon. Brilliant win from them. James Hartley and Shane Minahane come home second. Third place will be to Sean Hughes and Lewis Bennett. Rich Wenham's got the better of Rachel Cox to take fourth. And fifth place is Rachel Cox and Scott Guttridge. So that concludes the 500cc sidecar racing. And Mitchell Godden won all of the heats, so he is the overall victor. Mitch Godden and Paul Smith with a total of 28. So 7 points to Mitch Godden in the relaxed to race 500cc sidecars. Second place there to James Hartley, number 5. And third place to number 77, Sean Hughes and Lewis Bennett. Fourth place, number 4, Rich Wenham and Sean Corley. And fifth place, number 13, Rachel Cox, Scott Guttridge. 1 minute 08.90 was Mitch's time. So congratulations to Mitch and Paul on being the relaxed to race 500cc sidecar champions of Bantasia 1. As the boys come round. Number 68, Chris Mackett. Number 777 is Steve Newsham. We've got Lewis Denham, Mark Chessel. So the tapes go up on this GT140 final, and it's not Adam Shipp that's made the start, it's Lester Denham who's made the start, followed by Chris Mackett, but Shippy goes right up the inside. He immediately takes over the lead going into that turn, and somebody's fallen in the turn. Chris Mackett's fallen in the turn. I think he'll be able to remount, but Adam Shipp leads. Lewis Denham overtakes Lester Denham going into this turn to take up second. Chris Mackett has remounted the machine, but it's Adam Shipp with Lewis Denham behind and Lester Denham in that third place at the moment. So Adam Shipp, we asked if anyone could stop him. Certainly doesn't look like it at the moment. He's absolutely flying on this GT140 machine. A huge battle for 4th, 5th and 6th has just started because Steve Newsham, Kevin Bundock and Paul Smith have got together behind Lester Denham. So into that turn they go once more, and Lester Denham seems to be trying to hold them all up. He's trying to push Steve Newsham as wide as he possibly can. Paul Smith's also been pushed wide. I think Adam Shipp and Lewis Denham at the front are home and dry, but this battle for third is raging because Lester Denham has really got his work cut out to try and stop all three of those riders. Adam Shipp takes the win. Lewis Denham is going to be second. Steve Newsham wins that ferocious battle for third, and it's very close for fourth between the three of them. No idea who came fourth between those three. And good to see Chris Mackett remounting to finish in the final two. Brilliant win by Adam Shipp. Perfect day's racing for him. He is the Dirt Hub GT140's Bantasia 1 champion. And great to see Lewis Denham back too. Finishing second, finishing runner-up to Adam Shipp in the GT140s. Round they go. We've already got our race 65. Our next final, the SBS Epos Upright Solo Final. They've put on some fantastic racing this afternoon. Jason Prynne has been the man to beat. He comes to the line as top point scorer. Fourth place was 81. Fifth, number 9. Sixth, 56. Seventh, 811. Eighth was 140. Ninth was 122. And 10th was 68. So there we go. 1 minute 17.22 is how long it took him, and we're away with the upright final. Into the first turn, and it's Dolman, Prynne and Phillips all together as they go into that turn. Jason Prynne's got the thing completely sideways, and Darren Phillips gone right round him. A brilliant move by Darren Phillips, went right round the outside of Jason Prynne. Jason Prynne's just lost his steel shoe on this turn and he's chasing after Darren Phillips. Passes him once again. So, can Darren Phillips do anything from here? Jason Prynne is high, wide and handsome round there. Darren Phillips has now switched to the inside. He's now switched back to the outside. He's got to try and figure out how he's going to beat this man. The former St Austell Speedway rider, he is on tip-top form here at Warden Farm. He's riding much tighter now, you can see Jason Prynne. He's realised that Darren Phillips was attacking him from both sides. And he's pulled himself in tighter. Bob Dorman in that third place still, with Chris Malone having a good ride in fourth. But at the front, Jason Prynne. He's going to win this SBS EPOS upright solo final in emphatic style. He takes the win. Darren Phillips second, Bob Dorman was third, Chris Malone picks up fourth, Nigel Coates fifth, Graham Brown sixth, Mike Dowling seventh, Max Pankhurst eighth, Eric Pike ninth, and Paul Knott finishes in 10th position. Fabulous racing from the upright solo class, but a tremendous win by number 25, the Cornishman, Jason Prynne. The 250 solo final will be up next, followed by the 500cc solo final, and then we'll end, as we often do traditionally in Grasstrack, with the 1000cc sidecar final. So the results of that race then: Jason Prynne, number 25, he takes the win. Darren Phillips, number 35, second. Bob Dolman came home in third. Fourth place was number 64, Chris Malone. Fifth place was number 7, Nigel Coates. Sixth place, number 3, Graham Brown. Seventh place, number 282, Mike Dowling. NLB Bates, 250 solos, they've been brilliant this afternoon, completely unpredictable. We've seen wins for Luke Harris, we've seen a win for Graham Thomas, we've seen a win for Cameron Taylor, we've seen a win for Tim Grigg, we've seen Kai Ward pushing the front runners as well. He deserved a win. Congratulations to them. But who will be the 250cc solo champion? Will it be Luke Harris? Will it be Graham Thomas? Will it be Cameron Taylor? Will it be Tim Grigg? Will it be Chris Steele? Will it be Kai Ward? Adam Hawker, Phil Thomas, Carl Bedingfield or Lee Bassett? We're going to find out now because the tapes have gone up. And it's Luke Harris that's made a fantastic start. Tim Grigg's followed him in there and Graham Thomas has gone up the inside of him too. Cameron Taylor's roared up the inside of all of them. They've got very close in the middle of the corner, but Cameron Taylor leads. Cameron Taylor leads going into this turn. Graham Thomas has come back up the inside. Tremendous racing from the 250s, and Luke Harris has gone round a pair of them. Luke Harris now leads then. Graham Thomas back up the inside of Luke Harris. Cameron Taylor's plugging away on the inside as well. It's very close as they come out of this turn. Cameron Taylor's back up with Luke Harris again. Brilliant racing in this 250 race. Luke Harris on the wide line, Cameron Taylor up the inside. Cameron Taylor is much quicker into the turn. The last lap flag's made ready and suddenly Cameron Taylor can see daylight. He can see it there for him to take. Luke Harris is having to worry about people behind him. Somebody's dropped it further back. I think that was Kai Ward that's dropped the machine whilst holding third. But Cameron Taylor, what a ride this has been from the RTS rider. Cameron Taylor, he takes the win. Brilliant ride by Cameron Taylor. Luke Harris second, Graham Thomas third, Chris Steele fourth, Tim Grigg fifth, Adam Hawker sixth and Phil Thomas seventh. A fantastic ride. A fabulous ride by Cameron Taylor in his first adult grass track. We knew he was quick. We knew he was quick when he was in the Inters. James Wright comes to the line as top scorer. He's not been beaten yet this afternoon. James is just about to go off to race Speedway on Sundays for Newcastle Diamonds, and we wish him well. But before he goes to the Speedway, he's making sure he's getting some grass track in because he loves his grass track. Great to see James here today. James Shanes, can he put a stop to James Wright's dominance in this one? Edward Kennett, what can he do? So we are away with the final, and it's a very even break, but James Shanes has nosed ahead going into that turn. They all arrive at the turn together. They're all together in the middle of the corner. Somebody's diving around the outside. That's Alfie Botal right round the outside. But James Shanes has stolen a march. It's Edward Kennett in that second place. James Wright stuck in third. Stephen Green in fourth at the moment. And Alfie Botal still plugging away in fifth on the outside of everyone. So James Shanes leads still. Edward Kennett's got himself into that second place, and James Wright at the moment can't find a way past him. Alfie Botel's fighting away with Stephen Green and Charlie Powell at the moment. So the last lap flag is made ready, and it is James Shanes who looks like he's going to win this one. Edward Kennett in that second. Charlie Powell looks like he's winning that battle for fourth at the moment, with Stephen Green in fifth and Alfie Botel in that sixth place. So the final corner, and it's going to be another win for James Shanes. He takes the win. Edward Kennett second. James Wright comes home third. Fourth place for Charlie Powell. Fifth for Stephen Green. Alfie Botel finishes sixth. Seventh place for Jake Mulford. Eighth place will be Aaron Butcher. Ninth to Harry Gent, and 10th place to Will Thirlby. Well, was he saving it all for the final? The 4 times British Masters champion and 2 times European champion James Shanes did it when it mattered, pulled it out the bag, and he takes the first ever Bantasia 500cc solo championship. So they get a round of applause as they come across the line. Lots of the riders socially distancing along next to me, coming to watch these big finals at the end here. But a brilliant win for James Shanes. He took the win. Edward Kennett was second. Third place was James Wright, number 169. Meeting. We've got one race left here, the 1000cc sidecars, race 68. Sponsored, of course, by our partners. We've got Tom Cosser on the inside and Mark Cosser on the outside here, so this could be a dust up here, couldn't it? So away they go, and it's a clean start from the outside, not so much from the inside, but it's Mark Cosser that leads. Paul Whitelam gets himself into second. It's very close into that turn. Mark Cosser leads, so it's Tom Cosser in second and Paul Whitelam in third, but they all come together for that third place, and Paul Whitelam looks like he's spun over on the back as well. Problems for Paul Whitelam. So Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams lead the way from Tom Cosser and Dylan Newton. Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders are in that third, and Matt Fumarola's just got himself into fourth, past Joe Sturtridge. Not sure what the problem was for Paul Whitelam, but at the front, Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams absolutely flying this afternoon. But he's not getting away, is he? Tom's still quite close to him. He's not letting him get away. The last lap flag will be out this time for Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams. He's right on the inside line coming around this turn. A beautiful line by Cosser and Williams as they roar back up into that top corner. So down the back straight goes Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams, and back into this pit bend to take the final corner of the final race at Bantasia 1, and it's going to be a win for Mark Cosser and Gareth Williams. Tom Cosser and Dylan Newton come second. Third place will be Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders. Matt Fumarola and Nancy Wilson fourth. Joe Sturtridge and Sean Hoskin fifth. And we lost Paul Whitelam somewhere after a very tough first corner. Third place, number 24, Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders. Fourth place, number 15, Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson. Great to see them back together. And fifth place, number 13, Joe Sturtridge and Sean Hoskin. And Mark's winning time, 1 minute 14.82. And that is the racing finished for today. Because of COVID restrictions, we will not be having a presentation sadly today. There are some trophies for the youth riders, but everybody else will be packing away, getting everything sorted. Thank you for joining us today. Big thanks to Jerry of BluMonkey Media and Andy and all of the team who have been filming this today. Massive thanks to the whole Grasstrack family for coming together to make this meeting happen. From the club chairman, which is me, a huge thank you to everybody that's made this possible. It's been absolutely incredible to see so many people coming together. Grasstrack Banter isn't our club, it's not our brand, it's your brand. And you should be very proud today of what we've done. So thank you very much for your participation. And we will see you in Cornwall in about a month's time when we can have spectators again.